Excellency, Mr. President, I'm singing this song as I always do, just to praise the name of Almighty God. Ma chenga wurade anim wabera na suase na wati empaibo na odemasi obotanso odemenaya tintimpo semere she aseda na dia joma no Ejom foforobi aye yo a ete yase mema mansaya teneka na wajanga beto ano na wayo gwanko bea sheranka onipa odene hoto ewurade so na ochennanim medeye meboni didahame gwara delede memane so atere amansanyina efite oye owora ferise oye owora na terene nani obite se ono oyetete name.
Just put your hands together for Honorable Nkrabea Effa-Dartey. Thank you very much.
It's sad to see Nana Oheninto in that video. Oheninto, come back. Oheninto is being asked to leave the New Patriotic Party for conduct that he appears to agree with. Nkrabea Effa-Dartey, I'm not sure whether his voice is better than mine or mine is better than his. I think his is better than mine. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the show. Tonight we have an exclusive interview with somebody who really knows the MPP. Not many people know the MPP better than Kwabena Ejei-Agyapong, a man who started working in politics at a very early life when he had a glamorous life as an engineer with a high waist. He could have proceeded with his life in 1991, 1992, and 1990. He was a great sports presenter on television. He lost that as well because of his ambitious politics he was doing in following Professor Dubois, just believing in the cause of the MPP. At that age, when there was no guarantee that the MPP was going to win anything. And he wasn't concerned whether the MPP wins or not. He was just abiding by the philosophy of freedom, how do they call it? Freedom in development. And that's the philosophy he abided by. Tonight, many years after Kwabena Ejei-Agyapong has seen it all, we're going to ask him about the MPP yesterday, today, and election 2024. You sit back and enjoy the interview. That is a great interview coming up. We know that it will be great. Preseka in the studio, Preseka 98. It includes my very good friend Bernard Avle. You see him, I believe it's the second time or third time Bernard is appearing on this show. And when I was having a chat with them, the Preseka people, Kewa, the musician, is also here in the studio. And Bernard was harassing me that, oh, Paul, you have to know Kewa. Kewa is the biggest musician. I said, no, I've heard his name. I've never seen him before. No, Kewa is coming. You have to wait. So I said to him that, okay, you stay in the ante. I'm going to get ready. He said, no, don't get ready. You have to wait to see Kewa. Kewa entered a huge man like that. The shirt, I couldn't wear it. You are going to see him very, very soon. But Bernard told me, we were talking about Preseka and how it used to be and how it is. And Bernard said, when Kwabena Ejei-Agyapong comes, ask him whether being an infant spin boy right now, he will send his children to infant spin. You know, Bernard is always developing a theory. So I asked Kwabena Ejei-Agyapong, he's here too. And Kwabena said, my son, whom you know, Kofi, went to infant spin. And I said, okay, what about your younger son? Then he smiled and said, oh, he left Ghana when he was about 10. So Bernard, if you are watching me, that's your answer. Kwabena Ejei-Apong's son, Kofi, is an engineer, civil engineer from KNUST. He works in Ghana right now, and he went to infant spin. Okay, let me take a photograph of my social media ladies, because today is Thursday Casual. You're looking very, very cool. Oh, there you are. So you see, Fatih is on the left in the black. And I told Fatih right now that an imam says that he wants to marry her. Fatih says, no way. I said, but the imam says the Quran says if imam wants to marry, you have to agree. Fatih says, no, I cannot agree. So viewers, please help answer that question. When you send a text, send it to Fatih's phone or, okay, on the Facebook page, you'll see it. Advise her whether she should marry the imam or not. Okay, without much ado, I'm going to invite in Preseka 98, and they are coming here in celebration of the Break the Age victory, but especially towards the Saturday speech day, and one of the bright stars of Presec 98, City FM's Bernard Avle, the general manager of City FM and City TV, and Kewa, the musician. They are all here. Kewa is going to give us some a cappella, boom, 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 like take one of Stonebwoy's songs that he has done and do boom, 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 boom. But essentially, we are talking about Odadie. We are proud of you. Okay, I have made it a point to a lot of my fans who have been meeting me in the street and say that Abel Damina interview was superb. You have to do it again. Mikhail, when is Abel Damina coming back? Does he have a mic? Okay, yeah. Tell them I want to do an interview. Tell them, and then they will come back. Okay. So let's get a piece of. Oh, that's beautiful. I like that on the touchscreen, man. Mr. Producer, that's excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like that. This is great, isn't it? Charlie, my production team, they are solid, though. I didn't ask for this. I didn't know they were doing this. You know what? They've done it beautifully. And Mikhail is wearing the Presec shirt, and the Presec is on the screen all over the place. Okay, let's look at Abel Damina's interview. One of them, we're not going to show you the whole 10 minutes. We'll show you a little bit. We're just giving space for Presec to settle in the studio. Then by the time they settle, we'll take off the Abel Damina interview. But in this interview, he was talking about, Mikhail, which one have we chosen? Which Prosperity Gospel, yes. He was talking about the Prosperity Gospel. Here it is.
They know keys to financial prosperity, but they don't know Christ. Many in churches.
You mean Christ and Him crucified?
Yep.
We have been told that.
The crucified.
We've been
Christ.
told about Christ and Him crucified, the first love, and born again.
Yes.
Yes, and the fivefold ministry and the Great Commission.
Yes.
All of these are fundamental teachings of the
You know
new
that.
charismatic era.
You know that.
Yeah, many people like
Quite
me
a lot
also
of people
know that.
don't, because I interact. I travel a lot. And I can tell you, so many people in churches today,
And they don't
know what.
these fundamental things.
Yes, they don't.
And what do they know?
They know steps to success,
Prosperity.
keys to breakthrough, how to get your money multiplied, how to make it in life. Miracle, miracle, miracle. That's the answer.
So you're saying that in addition to the prosperity gospel, we should also teach the original gospel?
No, there's no addition. It's either the gospel of Christ or not the gospel at
The
all.
gospel of Christ, which excludes the prosperity message?
Well, prosperity is not the gospel. Christ is the gospel.
Absolutely, yes. But doesn't Christ have derivatives out of Christ?
Well,
out of having Christ. Don't you get
Well,
something else?
Christ didn't come to make us rich. His mission statement, Matthew 1:21, he shall bring forth a son, thou shalt call his name Jesus, he shall save his people from their sins. Before Jesus came, people were rich. Before Jesus came, people were wealthy. Before Jesus came, people were successful. So that's not his mission. He came to cure what human beings have no solution to, which is sin. Man sinned, man must die, and man does not have the wherewithal to free himself from the malady he has brought on himself. But God loves man. The wages of sin is death. Man has sinned. Man has died. Man is separated from God. Man is in a state where he's hopeless, helpless. God looked at the planet and he discovered that all the gold mines of Ghana couldn't pay for man's sins. The oil wells of the Niger Delta in Nigeria couldn't pay for man's sin. All the treasures on the earth. So God Almighty, because he loves man, became a man to die on the behalf of man, to save man from his sins. So that's why Jesus came.
Yes. All
that's
this is
the
correct.
gospel.
Once you get born again, you have a life to live, don't you?
You have a life to live before you're born again,
Yes.
and you have a life to
To
continue living
after you're born again. Now, that life that you live with Christ.
Yes.
So Christ is in you.
Yes.
Christ is in you when you go to court as a lawyer.
Yes.
Christ is in you when you go to build as an engineer.
Yes.
Christ is in you when you go to work as a doctor.
Yes.
Christ in you, which they say is the hope of glory.
Yes.
Is that able to make you a better lawyer? The Christ in you.
What makes you a better lawyer is the school you attended and the courses you did and how skillful you were with your lectures in school. You agree with me? The schools you attended, the people who wrote the books you read in your law classes or your medical classes, some of them are not even Christians. But
Yes,
yet
but
you
Christ,
have to study
Christ
that.
has all that knowledge.
Christ has all that knowledge.
Is he able to
But
share some of that knowledge
that's
with
not
you?
his mission.
Whilst
His mission-
it's not his mission, once you have taken Christ into your life as the central figure force that drives my life.
Yes.
But I'm a doctor.
Yes.
Is Christ able to reveal to me by the power of revelation things that can make me a better doctor?
Well, Christ is able to give you directions by his spirit, as to choices to make, what to do, what not to do, where to be. But when it comes to the intellectual, it will depend on how studious you were, how committed you were. That's why some of the successful people are not Christians.
No,
they don't have the Holy Spirit.
I hear you
I'm
say
talking
that.
about in the
yes, I hear you say that
yeah.
people are successful, but the Bible seems to have made provision for that. When it says that the Lord your God maketh rich and he added no sorrow, it suggests that there's another rich.
Well, the riches the Bible talks about in the New Testament are the riches of his grace, the riches of his glory, the riches of his mercy. He's not talking about material things.
The riches he spoke about in the Old Testament.
Yes,
that
because
he made Abraham
the Old
rich.
Testament is types, shadows, promises, and prophecies, which means there was a communication in the Old Testament that requires a New Testament revelation of what was being communicated in types, shadows, prophecies, and promises. God says
so when
he will
God said,
bless,
I'll make Abraham rich,
he will bless Abraham.
Yes.
Okay. The blessing of Abraham is the forgiveness of sins. Abraham was already rich. He was already rich before he left his father's house.
Abraham
Genesis
was
chapter
already
12.
rich.
Yes. He was already rich. He had a lot of people who followed him when he left to go, to go on the mission God called him. So he didn't follow God to be rich because he was already rich.
I'm not
Studios away, students of Presbyterian Secondary School. Onward we march, we trot along to happy victory. To victory, to victory. Our motto is a solid rock of bringing us along. Illuminate to be as famous slogan. In the light, we shall see light. Illuminate with the famous lumen. For Christian training, sure solid foundation. They are the future of our country and church. For Christian training, sure solid foundation. Take our places in the future of our country. Oh, come, join us. Happy students away. Christian training, solid foundation. They are places in the future of our country and church. For Christian training, solid foundation. Take our places in the future of our country. Oh, come, join us, join us, happy studios away.
Yeah, the montage is playing.
This school has become for me and for many Ghanaians one of the best senior high schools, if not the best, in Ghana. I can only urge Presec to break the 8 in this year's competition.
And now we celebrate and hand over the trophy for the National Science and Maths Quiz. Answer respectfully, please.
only urge Presec to break the 8 in this year's competition.
And now we celebrate and hand over the trophy for the National Science and Maths Quiz.
All right, so I was asking Bernard a question right now. Bernard, I was saying that in our anthem, guys, you know, in our anthem, we say we take our places in the future of our country. As for that one, because of Bernard, we've done it. We've taken the places in the future of our country. Have we also taken the places in the future of our church?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we have.
We have?
I believe so.
In the church?
I don't think
The Presbyterian church?
I think the moderator is a Presecant.
Oh, really?
There are quite a number of Presecants in the church. In fact, my year group, we were 431. At least 15 are pastors.
Oh, that's interesting.
Baptist, Presbyterian, all kinds. In fact, the guy preaching on Sunday night, Reverend, he's a pastor for the Baptist church.
But we can say you're a pastor too.
No, we are different type of pastor.
Kewa, how did you get into? We'll come to Saturday.
Yeah,
how did you get into this music thing? Bernard tells me that right from Presec, you were doing
right
the
from
music.
Presec. Yeah. I mean, right from Presec. Then my passion and the love for music was right through, even before Presec, then through Presec. And now right after Presec, I just boom.
What did you study at the university?
No, I went to Bell Bottom Recording School, which is in Tema.
After SS?
Yes.
To study music?
Yes.
Wow.
And so straight.
So how did you hit in the music career? How did they hit? Which artist was your first?
I worked with Reggie and the rest, you know.
Reggie Rockstone?
Yeah.
Then?
You know.
So you did that? No.
There's a lot of mixing and mastering. You see, so right after secondary school, that's right after 98, right there, then I started production.
Yeah, but Reggie was there at that time.
Yeah, it was there. And so
you started then?
Yeah, I started.
So what do you really do in the music chain?
I do a lot of the mixing and mastering.
What's that?
Okay. I mean, finalizing the product so that you can get on your TV, radio to listen to.
So when Shatawale says, I go buy a motor for mama, that's not what he brought to the studio?
No, that's what he brought to the studio.
So what have you done to that?
You fine-tune the voice, you mix and master it. You know, like to clean up the voice first, clean up the music first.
My voice is very bad. Can you clean it up?
Every voice is possible. Every voice is cleanable.
So the voice we hear in the music, that's not how he will sound?
Usually, no.
Really?
The talking voice or the regular voice we hear, once it gets into the studio equipment, it changes. It has to go through, you know, tuning, pitch correction, straight.
So that's your area?
Yeah. I do a lot of productions too.
What is production?
Okay, so music production is when you have come to the studio, you have a song, and you say, listen, this is what I have. Can you put it together for me? So it's my responsibility as a producer. So now, you know, call all the stakeholders, maybe a guitar player for play something somewhere, a bass player should play something somewhere, keyboard player, put all of them together.
You decide there's something they should play?
Yes.
Oh,
like an architect, you know, or for want of a better word, like a builder, the one who makes sure that the building is looking this way, So yours is to just tell me, this is what you have. Give me something out of this.
So if Kojo Sheldon, do you know him? He's my man.
Yeah, no, very well.
He walks to you and says, Kewa, Charlie, I want to do music.
Possible.
What will you do with him? He hasn't brought you anything. Kojo Sheldon comes, you know he has a big head. He says, I want to do music. What are you going to do?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you don't even get, or he doesn't even have...
Kojo Sheldon in Presec? Not that you know.
I think so.
Okay. No, his head is too big, sir.
Was it? I'm thinking so.
Was he in Presec, guys, over there? He wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
We should be sure. Maybe he was saying he was not your year group.
If he doesn't even have a voice and he doesn't even have a song, that's the role of a producer. The producer goes to the extent.
So I don't have a voice. I don't have a song.
Yeah.
I want to do music.
Yeah, it's possible.
What will you do?
Makokre Kumante is a producer. He doesn't play anything. He doesn't sing anything.
No, me, I want to be a musician. I want to be a star. I've come to you. I don't have a voice. I don't have a song. What will you do?
So I can give you a song. I can write a song for you.
Oh, wow.
Or possibly get a writer for you, so you can sing. Coach you to sing. So most of the singers out there, most of them don't write their songs. Yeah, the ones who write their songs also go through a lot of changes before the song comes out.
So you are like Don Jazzy?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you are rich?
Oh no, I'm okay.
You're okay? Are you married?
Okay. Yeah.
One wife?
Yeah. One.
I see. How long ago have you been married?
For quite a while. Well, they're around.
I don't know why you're laughing at Kewa. Okay, Mikael, prepare your questions, and I asked the people also to get some questions. Later tonight, Coordinator Point is coming. So 98-year group. Tell us, when did you get into Presec? What did you find there?
We went in 96, where the
That's 2 years. That makes it 2 years to 98. It's 3 years the course.
Yes, 96, 97, 98, SSS.
6, 7, 8. Okay.
Yeah. So we're the last group of SS to meet A-level people. So when we
that would
formed
be
one, there were
upper
upper six
six.
formers, 96.
Okay.
Yes, we were 431.
That's a lot. We were 120.
Oh, wow.
Yes. In 4 streams we were. Form 1 A, B, C, D. Later on, they brought E. But we were Form 1 A, B, C, 120. Maybe
This
not
is
even
Form 1.
actually.
What year?
87.
We went to 96, we were 431.
Yeah. We're small.
The Form 1s now are about 1,800.
Yeah, you're complaining about the size of the school.
Look, I went to Form 1 Science S122. So it's 121 to 24. So basically 24 science streams.
So how many streams did you have in when you went to Form 1?
4 science, 3 arts, 2 business, 1 agric, and 1 visual arts.
There was agric.
1 agric.
Okay. So you were 400 and something.
Yes.
And most of you were boarders.
Yes.
By then there were 7 houses.
8 houses.
8 houses, yes. When we were there was 6. Up to Lamoni House.
We had Novotel.
Those blocks were there. Novotel was there.
Yeah.
But science school.
Yeah,
And people used to go and learn there and all of that. It wasn't they fixed it when we were there, but when we went to Form 1, it was just standing.
But when you were 6 formers, you slept
It was
there.
fixed, yeah.
Okay.
It was nicer to sleep in the hall though.
Really?
Somehow, because you have juniors around you.
So you were in house 3?
bully. House 3. You can bully everybody.
I was also in house 3.
Oh, you're an man?
Common room.
Oh, the common room. But the common room was for Form 1 boys. Oh.
No, all of us were there.
No, in our time, 2 Form 5 boys, so Xerox and Bino.
Okay.
They looked after the Form 1 boys, Form 1 and Form 2 in common room.
Oh, they mix all
because
of
when they mixed the Form 1, we beat them too much. We were beating too much. So we agreed that they should all go to the common
There
room.
wasn't that much beating.
But House 3 common room was big. It's the biggest
Yes.
dormitory in
It's
the
wide
at the
entrance of the house. Yeah.
Oh, I see. So you were a science student?
No, I did general arts. Geography, economics, mathematics.
What we call general arts in Presec. Presec is truly a science school. To be doing mathematics and we still call it general arts. That's just truly a science school. Oh, I see.
Actually, all those who do geography economics.
So you've been doing economics since then?
Since Form 1.
Till now?
No, I stopped after university.
Yeah, but you did it all the way to university.
Yes.
And you do a lot of economics on radio as well.
I have to.
Was Ablakwa your mate?
He was a year behind me.
You are older than Ablakwa, or it doesn't mean that?
No, age is different.
Age
from
is different.
I don't know.
Yeah, way different, you know.
I don't
Oh, he
know.
was a year behind you.
As was Bright Simmons.
Oh, by Simmons.
He and
Manche.
Ablakwa were mates. Yes.
They were mates.
Yes.
How was Presec then?
It was interesting. It was very competitive still. Very, very exciting. Very creative as well. The thing about Presec I like is that you don't see the division between the haves and the have-nots. And Presec was very independent, steady. So the teachers are good, but it's really, you have to just learn to
Presec is like that, but that's how Presec has produced people who work in industries that require your own independence.
Yes, it's very
Presec
clear.
produces a lot of that. Music, broadcasting, football, business, private enterprise. Presec produces a
You're
lot
on
of
your
that.
own because the teachers are busy doing extra classes.
They are. They won't like to hear that.
Among other things. No, but that's the truth. A lot of people went to Presec
But how
to do
did
extra
Presec
classes.
manage to do that? You see, the motto, in their light we shall see light, it looks like it's really worked.
Yeah.
Because Presec is that kind of school
Yeah.
that allows you to build your own thing. And if you
Yeah.
look at where we have all done well, it is
Yeah.
in those areas.
Yes. Yeah.
Politics, media, music. We don't go and work in an industry and
civil
become,
service.
no, Presec,
Yeah.
we can't do civil service. We don't wake up early.
I think
we
primarily
sleep late.
it's a Christian training.
Oh, but the Christian training was in Aquinas as well.
Yeah, but ours was like, you know, you have to go through it.
So when did you first meet Bernard in Presec? You remember?
Yeah.
Were you in house 3 too?
No, house 4.
Accro
House. Yes.
Yeah.
And I moved to House 8.
Do you move? Why?
No,
Where
when
you
you
get to
become a
Form 3
prefect
or
or
prefect
something.
Were you a prefect?
A music prefect.
Oh, the music is with you.
The music came from
Let's take it from our other guys. Oh, we didn't even take, because everyone knows Bernard, everyone knows Kewa. We didn't take who you are and what was your nickname. He was Aloski, we know. Kewa is Kewa. Oh, you Kewa in Presec?
Kewa, yes.
In Presec?
Presec.
That was your nickname?
Yes.
Kewa.
Kewa.
So what's your real name?
David Kojoche.
Nice name like that. Boss, what's your name? And you can, it's working. You can speak in it. Yeah.
My name is Kwesi Asante. My nickname was Kwasant.
Kwasant, I've heard that nickname before. Or do you have a senior brother?
No.
Okay.
And I was in Clark House.
Class 2.
House 2.
Clark House, dear. Okay, it's all right. Go on. But that's close to Engman. That's the nearest to Engman.
Yeah, that's the nearest.
We're in the same class, actually.
We're in the same class.
Oh, I see.
So I also read economics from.
You know, I'll interrupt you. We had a big argument in Engman House one day. We were making the point that Clark House is the nearest house to us. Some guy said no. Guy in the
What's the nearest house?
He said, why is it the nearest house? We said, but look at Engman, look at Clark House. He said, okay, if you go to the bathhouse in Engman, it is nearer Accru. That's Presec. That's Presec for you. We nearly beat him up. He said, you are mad. What are you talking about? Please go on.
Yeah, and I also read economics up to university. And actually,
we're in the same class with Bernard then?
Up to university.
In university economics?
Economics.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
With Professor Bano Akun and your guy, your favorite guy, what's his name?
Dr. Texan.
Bob Watson. Is he still there?
Head of department.
Oh, great. I'm happy to hear that.
Solid.
Oh, Bob Watson is solid.
Solid.
You made me like him.
He's a big guy.
Bob Watson is solid. Unassuming, but the economics in his head.
He went to
Labor economics.
He went to Kumasi High School.
Yeah, Kuhi.
Bob Watson is very, very good. Bob Watson is good. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So what are you doing these days?
So now I'm a public finance practitioner. I work with UNICEF as a social policy specialist.
UNICEF, civil society, those people.
No, UNICEF, UN.
Yeah.
UN.
So you are neither MPP or NDC. You are just doing your
No, I'm working for children and the vulnerable.
children. And they don't have a vote.
They don't have
Without
a vote. And that's why I'm working for them.
It's very important.
It's like, yeah.
So you enjoyed Presec too?
I enjoy.
Let's hear from him and then we'll take the 98. You have a microphone?
So, yes, I do. I'm a relatively younger guy. 2000.
You are not in 98?
No, 2005.
He came to support us.
He's the head of publicity.
Now you.
Oh, you are from the headquarters?
Yes.
Yes, so deputy
But where is Chris?
organizer.
Chris said he was going to come.
Chris was supposed to be here. Yeah, you just couldn't make it.
Great.
So I'm deputy organizer for the other day alumni, fraternity.
Okay, so Saturday we are doing our speech day.
Yes, definitely. And
Okay,
98 is pushing
Bernard then. So speech day, what's the plan?
Oh, we have a big day. We have two of our colleagues, our guest speakers, a doctor, head of department.
2 of 98?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. Is that what we do in every speech day? One of the year group is a guest speaker?
Yeah.
I don't remember whether we did that.
Well, we have them, you don't.
Oh, but we had Louis Nkrumah who has been doing a lot in malaria.
We have plenty.
But I'm happy to hear that. Maybe we should establish it as a system. Why the mic wasn't working? It's working. Maybe we should establish that the year group people, one of them should speak.
Delali Fiagbe is head of department of psychiatry, medical school. He's giving the guest speech.
Oh, solid.
Nas Santipoku is the head of British International Investments. It's like IFC in Ghana.
Yeah.
He's also a guest speaker. And
Oh, that's solid. That's solid.
James Boateng, who's from an earlier group, is the chairman. And then, of course, Dr. Jutum is coming.
Okay. What about the fund for Saturday? So what's the project? What projects have you done?
So basically, the assembly hall is too small for the school. So we've built a ceremonial grounds which can take up to 3,500 students. It's the space between the science school and the new dining hall and the classroom block. We've converted.
I'm confused though. So we are inside the school, not at the front.
No, inside the school.
When I talk assembly hall, everything is at the front.
No, now we have the main classroom block.
The main classroom block.
New dining hall.
The big one, the long classroom
Yes,
block.
we are behind it. Huge space.
There used to be laboratories there. Science lab.
The lab is on our left. The new dining hall is on our right. Classroom block is behind us. And then there's the whole.
Oh, that's a fantastic area.
We've converted it into a ceremonial.
That's in the heart of the school, really.
Yes, middle of the school.
Yes.
It cost us over $1 million to put that together.
CDs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've done well. So what have you put there?
We put a days. We've put canopies made of steel with a very interesting roofing. So
that's where the speech day will happen?
Yes.
For the first time?
In fact, it's happening. We are starting tomorrow with a brief handing over of the ceremony of the place to the school.
Okay.
The speech day. The first ceremony will be speech day on Saturday.
Oh, you guys have done well. So you've given us a grounds for speech day.
And other
all
things. Ceremonial grounds. All things you want to do.
So the cadets will be. Do we have a cadet now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So the cadets will be there.
Everybody will be there.
Oh, that's solid. So you've created grounds for 98 has created for the 98 event as the first one.
And for the others.
Oh, you guys have done well.
Thank you.
Guys have done. So you contributed money. How much did KWA pay?
You can speak for himself.
Why are you so interested in that?
All right, let's see this. Let's see this. That's the video. Can we talk over it?
Yes.
Floor manager, can we talk over it? Okay, so walk us through. So this is what you've
So
done.
basically, this is the days. So the classroom block is behind you. So the days can take 70 people.
These days?
Yes. So
Oh,
all the
that's
days
really
and
nice.
it's elevated. Now, these are steel columns we've done, proper steel that we've done. We've left some of the trees there. So this was before we put the canopies on top. So so this is where the chairs will be, all the way to the back.
And 3,000. That's it?
Eventually, it will be 31 tents. We've not finished all the tents, so you can buy one tent for us. Because
And
you're a
name
big
it
man.
after Good Evening Ghana.
You call it GEG.
What's the price to buy the tent?
Oh, the tent is about how much? 30,000 cedis or something.
Oh, we can tell our friends to do it.
And then we'll brand it. And
How
put
many
it
tents
inside.
do you need more?
We need about 31.
How many do you have already?
We have about 12.
And when we get 31, we're going to get 3,000 people sitting there.
3,500.
500. Okay, but the days is really nice. With
Yeah.
all that their branding and all that.
Everything is ready.
But the yellow chairs are for who?
So the students will sit on the chairs. So basically, this is like a week ago. So the chairs will be like this. These chairs will be the
All
speaker
over,
chairs.
yeah.
Yes. And then the roofing or the cover. On
Oh, but
top.
that's nice. That's really, really cool.
We hope to see you there.
So I started, I'll be there.
Sure.
Okay, Duchum is coming.
Yes, he's our keynote speaker.
Yeah, Friday night you said you're doing.
So we're doing homecoming. All of us will go back to the school.
To the Alumni Center.
Yes.
And the lights will be on at the AstroTurf.
Everything.
Kebab and everything.
You know it already.
Okay, are you going to perform something? Are you going to bring some big people to kind of shake the place up?
Some surprise.
I heard Prior went to Presec. Is that correct?
Yes, Prior.
Which year group? Are they behind you?
No. I think they were 2 years behind us.
Yes, it was behind us.
So they are 2001.
Yes.
So are you going to get them to come? Have you worked with them before though?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So you get them
Yeah. Oh, we have a surprise coming up. So
on Saturday, Friday night,
Friday
which is tomorrow
yes,
night.
Yes.
At the Alumni Center.
Yes.
East Legon, we'll be there. That side of Presec is East Legon, isn't it? Then the other side is Medina.
Then we'll do the Thanksgiving on Sunday evening. Thanksgiving service. Same ceremonial grounds.
Oh, Sunday evening.
Yes.
That's why you said your guys are preaching.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
So we've taken over.
So we are all proud of Presec, but are we proud of the future of Presec?
Oh yes.
Why do you? This is a photograph.
We are-
Why do you think the future of Presec?
I think
is
they are very
great?
dedicated teachers. We were there for the mentoring yesterday. They are very hardworking teachers who understand the school's values. A lot of good students want to come there. They are figuring things out. The alumni are very dedicated, specialized, awesome guy. So if you look at the commitment of the alumni and the teachers and the application of the students,
That's the old dining hall.
Will
I will
dominate for a
never
long
forget
time.
this dining hall.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Do we have a new? Yeah, the other one.
new
The other
dining
one.
hall,
Yeah, the
yeah.
other one. But we still use this.
Yeah, so now they split them into two.
Oh, because there are too many.
The students are 5,400.
Yeah, I know you're worried about that. So how many does the dining hall take?
So they split them so they eat in turns. But as we speak, they are Form 3s are home. Only Form 1s and Form 2s are in school. So it's a double track.
They eat double track.
So the Form 1s and Form 2s are in school now. So one group will eat in the old one.
Then this one, yeah.
So they might.
But if I were there, I would like the old one. It has some feeling.
Yes, that's where the spirit is.
Yeah, that's what the gas.
But it's too close to house one.
Yeah, it's very close to house one. Yes, it's
Yeah,
true.
they go to-
And the other one is close to house 3. The other dining hall 2 and 3, isn't
It
it?
depends on whether in the common room or in the back.
Yes, you're right about that. Okay, so let's be wrapping up now.
Oh, thanks.
So what do you have to tell our people?
No.
Who should come?
Everybody
to
should
Presec?
try and come. It's we are celebrating the 85th anniversary. We won the 8th trophy for NSMQ. It's just a time to say thank you to Presec. Lots of good feelings. Minister of Education will be there as well. He's a STEM guy. I'm sure he loves Presec.
He does.
Yeah,
So
so
they
it's
should
going to
love
be a
Presec.
big day. So hope to see all of you there on
Okay, well, what are you giving us? We need to hear something like Kewa.
You mean right now?
Then on the Saturday,
No,
Friday, Sunday.
that one is a
we should leave it for you.
Very big surprise.
So what instrument do you play well?
I virtually play
Everything.
Sorry, almost everything.
Oh, trumpet, piano, drums.
Piano, drums, trumpet.
So the music
a
is in
bit
you.
of everything.
Wow.
Yeah, virtually.
Is it the music that makes you twist your hair like that?
No. You see,
I don't know what
I
I
don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, viewers, we'll leave it here. Thank you. Excellent. Aloski,
Thank you. Good
all
to
the
see
time.
you.
Please come and take us photographs. Call the photographer. Let's take, please, like all of us, come here then. Let's take a photograph. It will be on social media, so that we can all enjoy it. Presec is for all. Antoinette, how did you find it sitting in between two Presec boys? It was okay. It was okay. Okay. So we'll take a short break. We'll take our first commercial break now. Good. Okay. After that, Kwabena Japan is next on the show. So let's take our photographs. Thank you, viewers. We'll be right back.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh bread.
I'm a fair missy way.
Repacho Bantama.
Machasi.
It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me Jidi said we used to Cal 360 toothpaste. Some kind. Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim Jom Kasan. Kile Hossein. Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
And you will so feeling kika when you know Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile.
Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu.
Good afternoon, Mr. Asari.
How is business doing?
My business is collapsing.
Why is your business collapsing?
I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts.
Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana?
Not at all.
Mr. Ampedu, all you need to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rosic Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ikropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ikropong right after the Latte Junction, or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
Inside Black Star Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made tailor-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness, so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
Customer.
Nadabena minka me papa.
Ucha say.
Me try 10 Ghana.
10 Ghana.
10 Ghana cedis.
Na no dia, say na obenya.
10 Ghana cedis no. Me dia. Maybe 54,000 Ghana cedis.
54,000.
540 million. Here.
We are the one na me ka me die hu skase.
Here. Ene na giga ade tena we. Tena wa boki. Ah, draw no na asase no. Mami me volume.
Customer. One of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model, securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Televisions, refrigerators, chest freezers, air conditioners, washing machines, smartphones, sound systems, irons, any kitchen appliances, gas cookers, microwaves, blenders, rice cookers, kettles, air fryers, and even home. And your Hisense Black Friday promo! What the Anabora Hisense showrooms in Yina? If it's 23rd November, I'm coming 28th November. And your 5 days, and Rena so say, who better the free Hisense or Madam Hisense, Matiti so say, who? Yes, I the 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. As a tattoo. First come, first serve. So one quantum less, Hejawa, and you know what? Hisense Black Friday promo way there. Edu Chem, and she say Kakra home. Bibiania, for Hisense 0302 550000.
Original 91.9 FM, Original TV, na afei so the Metro TV, and na to nsa afre agidifo nyina. Ese wo meka ye ho na empaibɔ nante a yede behyehyɛ so efieda December bosomida edikan. Won fimpim mienu ene aduonu mihensan mu a eba akɔyɛ ɔman mu nyina. Akuafo ɛda mekire National Farmers Day no wo meka ye ho na sa adwumadie no entumi nkɔso.
Ene nti ye bompa ye anante akai emofra akonso modam no eyiriye ahomadisua. Ye kyerɛ sɛ kakra bia ensa eniema bia wo bia no obetimi ede abeso yasene. Fa momo line no eye 0548 390970 0548 390970 na sɛ wo sanitary pad entade ensa dokodoko anase sika fa beso yasene sɛ ne yebeya yebema wono mu a ennei wo mani atutu akom nsɛm no wo nso ebesere
hyɛne so ɛsɛ dwumade kɛse bɛhyɛ ase anopa nonsia ade afi Obra Sport ɛwɔ Kwame Nkrumah Circle na yɛ nantimu a na sɔfo peni dwumade kɛse odi animu ɛyɛ Apostle Sacred Solomon Odro ɔno ɛna kyerɛ sɛ dwumade kɛse obedi ɛyɛ animu ama asɔfofo afoforo nso ɛde ɔmonta akyire aboa.
Did you say anything ill about the Welcome back to the show. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Paul.
Well, I think it's important for those of us who've been political tradition for this long to be able to share our experiences, try and pour a little bit of water, bring some calm. It's important that we work together as a political tradition because as Democrats, as you displayed, once the majority have taken a decision, we have to respect it and work towards the victory of our party. So for me, I've always been one to work for the collective. And I think it is time that we have an opportunity. We have a new presidential candidate. And I do hope that he's the kind of person who can chart a new course for the party. I've always believed that we need to usher in a new dawn. When I say a new dawn, a new time, the way we do our politics, the way we understand public service and all that. And those are things I'm very passionate about. And I'm very confident that Dr. Bawumia would be able to do that. And we, all of us, patrons of our party, should support him to be able to achieve what we mean to achieve by winning the elections in 2024.
Is that winnable?
It's a tough one. We all know that it hasn't happened before. But when you are in power, you have an opportunity to reorganize ourselves. I believe one of the base of the party is enthusiastic. Once we have harmony and cohesiveness at the base, that is for me number one. So what duty we have as leaders of our party now is to ensure that the 275 constituencies work in harmony, they focus on their work, especially at the grassroots. It appears to me that a lot of them have lost their focus as to why they are polling station executives. People prefer to call themselves delegates. They are really polling station executives. And these polling stations have manuals. They have a job to do. These are the frontline soldiers of our struggle. These are the ones who go to the homes, and they are the ones who do the advocacy for our party. And it is by their own choice that they have those positions to work for the party. So that spirit of dedication, volunteerism, the spirit of working hard for this political tradition, that used to be our glowing principle, which appears to have waned. That is what I'm worried about now, to get our people back on course. Immediately after any election, I mean, it happened in 92, 98, elections are tough. And when, people, there's a lot of pain, so we've got to work to heal those cracks. And it's the way we communicate with ourselves, the way we show love to one another, and the language that we use is very important. So I don't think that we need to over-celebrate, especially those who have won. They have to be magnanimous in victory and ensure that every MPP person feels a part of this battle for 2024. And that's why I'm here.
So what role do you want to be playing ahead of 2024?
You are not the police station executive. You are at the national level.
I am a member of the national executive. Okay, I want to help with all the experience I have garnered over the years, serving in various capacities, and especially to get the rank and file of the party, to have the emotional strength to accept that this is a new dawn, that we need to change our attitude towards politics. The politics is not about what you make out of the situation, but what contribution that you can make to society. That there will be a sense of fulfillment as Ghanaians, as party patrons, to be able to support one another and to work hard for our country. I think I'm a bit saddened when you speak to a lot of young people who feel a sense of despondency. I mean, this week, for some strange reason, I've had visits from youth organizers who are worried about the attitude of the youth in the party, who are always talking about resources and other things. That should not animate what we do for our political tradition. Politics is about public service, and it is we, the leaders, who have to lead by example, to be able to inspire the youth that there's some beauty, some sense of fulfillment in serving your country, and it can be done. Right now, that cloud of mistrust hangs around politics, the political architecture in Ghana in general. And I think we should work hard as a country, do more thinking than speaking. And the way we are able to think through our problems and diagnose and proffer solutions, simple, implementable steps that can change the face of our economy and our situation as Ghanaians. Those are the things that we need to do as politicians and as Ghanaians. And that's what I want to lend the experience that I've been able to garner over the years to support the party, to support our move to win 2024.
How different will 2024 be from 2008, for instance?
Well, I mean, I think, Paul, let's be honest. I mean, the whole world has gone through a very turbulent period the last 2 years. And so it's very tough economically. You can see a lot of governments have suffered because of that. So clearly, when we all go through an economic turmoil, it affects people. But it doesn't mean it cannot be done. I think what we need to change in Ghana now is our orientation. Let's get back to basics. We've got to reposition our thinking and look for the collective. It's very important.
What is the meaning of look for the collective?
Look for our collective security as a country, as a people. The kinds of language that people are using to attack one another just because on the altar of political expediency. Just attack people, destroy them. I think it hasn't worked for the last 30 years. So we need to have a competition of ideas. Let's discuss real issues that matter to the Ghanaian people and how we are going to advance as a people. And I do believe that we have the capacity. Ghana, we have the mental resources, we have the human resource to be able to lift ourselves from where we are right now, which means we have to impose order and discipline, which means we have to cut down the size of government. So I had a 6-point plan, and I'm happy I've had several discussions with the flag bearer.
Dr. Bawumia?
Yes, and I think a lot of his views, in fact, my views align, a lot of my views align with his. And I'm happy he talked about a new vision, a new set of priorities. We can work together to change the narrative to the Ghanaian people. So it's a matter of restoring confidence.
When you say we should reduce the size of government, what do you mean?
We have to lead by example, okay? Right now, I think the economy is such that we have to work to balance our budget. We can't continue with deficit financing forever. So what you can do when you have a situation like that is to reduce your expenditure, to prioritize. What are our priorities? Those are very important as Ghanaians. So as a government, you can send a very strong moral message, because I have always believed in small government. I believe it's more efficient.
Well, how small is efficient?
I have said as part of my 6-point plan that I think that we should respect what the Constitution says when it talks about the 19 cabinet ministers.
And leave the ministers at 19?
I think so.
19?
I think that would be very good for us. It will send a very strong message to the Ghanaian public that we are serious about what we are doing.
Excluding deputies? Yes. So plus deputies 38 maybe.
38, and then the 16, that makes it 54.
Which 60 the regions?
I don't expect.
So 54 altogether.
Yeah, that's 54 ultimately.
That 19 cabinet.
That is what that's what I think. But
okay.
I mean, if he's able to reduce it not to exactly 54, I think.
President Kufuor was doing 60 something.
No, it was 82.
Because you had, some had double deputies.
That's right. So I think that for a country of 31 million people, and I can sense from his discussions with me that he wants to do something like that, consolidate some of the ministries. We've practiced this for 30 years. It really hasn't taken us where we want to be. So it is time for us to look the Ghanaian in the face and also to have a certain social reconstruct as Ghanaians. We, the population, have also a duty to our country, Ghana. Yes, the politicians have to lead by example, taking the right decisions, behaving properly, but the Ghanaian people, we've got to energize them for them to understand it is their right, it is their time to also play a major role in changing the narrative of Ghana. Talk about employment especially. Job creation clearly is the biggest problem we are facing, unemployment in our country. But one thing we don't talk about is the work ethic in society. A lot of investors you talk to, businesses have collapsed because of a low work ethic. The kinds of antisocial behavior that we put up in workplaces have destroyed many a company. And so we have to change our attitude towards work. We've got to restore professionalism and meritocracy to the workplace. The workplace should be a place where people are prepared to do the extra thing.
But they want to be paid.
Yes, that's correct. I mean, President Kufuor, it was who said that we pretend to work and they pretend to pay us.
Yeah.
And I remember it is Don Xiaoping who also talked about that bowl of rice and says that sometimes people just do the basic minimum. But as Ghanaians, can we put our hand on our heart and say we are passionate about our country?
Well, they think the politicians have been stealing the money. That's the narrative for the last 20 years.
I think it is important that we, the politicians, start leading by example, winning the confidence again of the Ghanaian people that we mean well. It's very important. And it's our language. We don't have to be condescending. We don't have to talk down on people. Politicians have to engage society. The business community have to be engaged. So it's not enough just to do the talking, okay? We have to act the talk. That is very important. And you can see from a lot of these academics, we need to work together with them, sit with them, the research that they've put together. How do we bring harmony into this country to increase the trust? Because there's too much mistrust in society. And I want to work for the propriety of this country. And I believe that we can achieve it. If we are very humane and we respect one another and reduce the temperature in the system, politics is not about life and death. It is about serving society. We have to understand that. So it's not all about a winner takes all.
But that's what the Constitution has given us.
It is so, but it is the style of leadership and the style of politics that we have been doing for the last 30 years, which is worrying this country. It is not allowing our best material.
But the Constitution, the law,
to even join politics.
The one that we've been asking for is amendments. And we have been asking for the amendments of the Constitution fundamentally because of this winner-takes-all situation. That's what is killing our society. So that the context of 1992 was not as vitriolic as the context of 2016. Because over time, we are seeing that the winner takes all. That's what the law allows him to do. Until we change that, the winner is always going to take all. The opponent is going to die.
It's not about, you see, if we see a role to play in that, you cannot offer your platform for people to use intemperate language. We can respectfully disagree with governments, with presidents. I have been worried about what is happening in society. As if Ghanaians used to be a very respectful people. Even when they disagree with you, they will disagree with you with a lot of respect. What is happening now? The kind of intemperate language that media people use attacking chiefs, seniors in society, even the president. I think that we can't build a society like that. And we, the political leaders, have to lead by example. Fortunately, we have a candidate who's a very affable personality.
You're referring to Dr. Bawumia?
Yes, he's a very affable personality. He's been able to build links all across the country. You never hear him say a bad word about someone. And despite all the heat that he has had to endure in this very tough electoral environment, he's held his emotional stability. And it is very important. And that is the kind of behavior we need. The shouting matches has to go down. We have to look at weaning ourselves off foreign support. The only thing you can do about that is to build a society, create the world that we need to create. And again, if you look at this, the percentage of public employment, for instance, public service can do more than 7 or 8%. Even in America, it's about 14 or 15%. So it is the private sector. So as governments, we've got to be hand in glove with the private sector to work to generate the employment for the thousands of young people who are looking for a job. Otherwise, we'll be sitting on a time bomb. But we need to communicate with these youth that behavior at workplaces is important, work ethic is important, character is important, skills development is important. So there is a complete mismatch between what the industry is looking for and what we are producing from our schools. And all these things are things that we should be discussing as politicians, rather than just slashing one another.
I like the way you are being magnanimous, Kwabena Agyapong, but another Kwabena Agyapong will not be magnanimous because you started your life as a young person in politics. You had difficulties with your job because of your political beliefs.
Because
under the 1992 Constitution.
You see, that's why I think we should learn from experiences. Paul, we can never change.
You have been magnanimous. Another person will not be, and he'll be entitled not to be magnanimous.
It is important that leadership shows magnanimity, especially when you are victorious. It's important. In a boxing match, it's the one who wins who goes to pick up the one who has lost. That's what happens. So it's very, very important that we learn from the difficulties of the last 30 years, that we cannot continue along the same path. The trajectory that we are on hasn't landed us the place that we want to be. So I think it's important that that mindset change is critical, especially for us, the leaders, because we take the mandate from the people to lead. The way we behave, the way we can cut down on expenditure, the way we live ourselves, the opulence must be reduced. So these are things that encourage young people, the respect we have for one another, the articulation of our views across board. So it is incumbent on us right now to restore those cherished values that we as young people were taught when we were growing up. So that materialism that has gripped the space.
It's because of the winner takes all.
I don't think it's just because of the winner takes all. I think the Constitution can be tweaked, but not in a large-scale way the way we are talking about it. Our Constitution is a living document. I have issues with certain aspects of it. I've told you about that. Like putting a cap on the Supreme Court. I've never believed in the proliferation of assemblies. For instance, we started with 110. We are now over 260. I don't think it's very efficient. It imposes more financial burden on the central treasury. So you are in a situation where things are tough for you economically, then you've got to take the difficult decisions. We have to be brutally frank with ourselves and look ourselves in the eyes and be able to take difficult decisions.
Let's go to election 2024 then. NDC had 2009 to 2017. MPP had 2017 to 2024. Who was better in your reckoning?
I think, Paul, what is important is for we, the MPP, to change the narrative and present a new era, a new vision, the things that we are going to do that will be different, that will bring comfort to Ghana. I don't want us to reside in the past. We can be very pedestrian and say, I built 10 houses, you built 3 roads, so and so. Yes, this government has done remarkably well with infrastructure. But I think the transformation that we need in our country It's not just a physical infrastructure.
It's beyond what has
It's
happened.
beyond that.
You think Dr. Bawumia carries
It's a mindset. He's got a fantastic opportunity. And when you talk to him, you know, I think he's got the capacity to be able to do that. And by working and building a strong coalition around the country, you know, people feel shut out from even common discussions. It's important that as government we open up when people want to express their views, because, you know, we've got to call on our best talents in the country. Let's listen to everyone, let's share the problems across, and let's move together. And I do believe in this country, once people know you respect their opinions and you can work together as one, you are getting there. It's important for us to increase the confidence that people have in ourselves to deliver. And I do believe Ghanaians have excelled out there because individually we have been very competent. But collectively, I think we've fallen short. You know, so this is what I think as Ghanaians and as people, as politicians, we should be looking at. So it is not just trying to show yourself as better than the other, but I think there is no doubt in my mind that he has an opportunity to chart a new course to bring the country together first by healing the party.
Do you think he's better placed than John Mahama to be president of Ghana for the next 4 years?
Of course, John Mahama has had opportunity to be president already. And, you know, he's had opportunity to do what he's saying, he's promising to do right now.
And he didn't do it.
He didn't do it. So how can we guarantee that he will do what he's saying? Dr. Bawumia hasn't had the opportunity to be president. Okay? Paul?
Yes.
He's been vice president.
He has been. And John Mahama has been vice president too.
And so he knows the difference between being president and vice president. And that's why I always say we should give Dr. Bawumia that benefit of the doubt. I think that he has shown in the way he relates to people, he relates to the country, character matters. He's got a calming influence on this country. And I do believe he's got the knowledge, the training and the background and the people around to be able to help us reach the goals that we desire. And we have to take some very drastic measures as a country. And how best to do it? By looking at our priorities as a country and being able to identify those key priorities, because you can't do everything.
You've been speaking for 15 minutes now, and you've got the vote of Franklin Kujo. He says, Bawumia has the right candidate. Kwabena Japan was the best candidate with workable ideas during the MPP primaries. Bawumia has a candidate as Viv.
Oh, please, I don't.
That's Franklin Kujo.
I don't think
I don't know what other people are going to say.
I
the
think,
text messages are coming
I think it's important that we don't.
Somebody says we should check our Facebook sound. One of our viewers in London said we should check our Facebook sound. So please, Kwabena Japan's interview has a lot of interest. He's the best to convince many despondent followers of MPP. He might do well with others too. Okay, so Franklin Kujo says you will be a running mate. Okay.
No, I think...
You don't want to be running mate?
I haven't said that. I think it's important that we don't create another circus, because I've seen quite a lot of it happening.
Or you don't want to be part of Napo, Educhum, Chief of Staff?
We don't need that, because, Paul...
But you are from Ashanti, aren't you?
No, why should we even talk about that?
Which one?
You say I'm from Ashanti.
The party said they are choosing
I
from
think
Ashanti.
it is important that we recognize Ghana as a unified state. I don't think about where you come from.
We're thinking about
I'm a very detribalized Ghanaian. And I think it's important. These are the things that we should emphasize and promote.
Detribalized Ghanaian means what? You are Ashanti.
It doesn't matter where you come from. Look, I was born in Kumasi. I've said it before. I schooled in Kumasi, went to school in Cape Coast, you know, so I'm a Fanti.
Yeah.
Spent
That's
7
very
years.
close to Ashanti.
Then I've been in Accra most of my life. So, you know, so I think it's important that we don't organize politics around tribe, religion, and that kind of stuff. It is not very healthy. I don't think Dr. Bawumia won this because of where he comes from.
No.
I think he's been able to use the platform that was offered him, that vice presidential position, to very good effect. Building alliances, talking to people, and endearing himself to people. That's what we should be looking at as a country. I think the media is making too much of a meal of who becomes vice president.
Well, we need that. We need news.
Of course, you want to sell your news, you want to be sensational.
Yes.
But
So I can do a headline. Cabinet Japan speaks well. Good evening, Ghana tonight. Vice President. I have a photograph.
I think you shouldn't do that. It's not necessary. Because if you look at the history of the selection of vice presidents, it's never been an obvious choice. From a Dubois Henning.
We don't remember a Dubois Henning. Those of us who are even
Because
being nearly 50.
You're too
Even being
young.
nearly 50, I don't
Yes,
remember. So the rest of the people,
Yeah.
who became his running mate in the
Roland
end?
Al-Hassan. Lawyer Roland Al-Hassan.
Roland Al-Hassan.
From Tamale, yes.
Is a member of the MPP?
Of course. Very senior member of the MPP.
Really?
Not the MPP, the predecessor parties, you know. So,
Oh, the Buzia people. Please see what I can find photograph of Roland Al-Hassan, lawyer Al-Hassan from Tamale.
Roland Al-Hassan.
Was he a lawyer?
I think, yeah, he was a lawyer. You know,
Okay.
so I think it's
Who was the next running mate then in Kufuor's? Oh, that's Aka.
No. Aka was,
That's
you
an
know, we're
arrangement
having,
thing.
that was an arrangement
If
with
Aka
the city.
hadn't become, who could have been Kufuor's running mate?
It would be difficult to tell because, you know, even Edward Mahama, I think, was being considered.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yes.
I remember
But
that.
Aliu Mahama came out of the blue.
Ali Mama was 2000.
Yes.
96 is when Edward was being considered, was it? Or even in 2000?
Even in 2000.
Oh, Edward Mahama was being
I
considered.
mean, the name was making some rounds. You know, because of what happened in 1996, we had the Great Alliance. There was still a feel within the party that we could work with some Nkrumah's parties to be able to win. But then out came Aliu Mahama. Aliu had been there from early days, but he was a businessman. He was supporting the party.
But did we
You know,
speculate in 2000 in the media who was going to be running mate? Did we do those things? Those days we didn't do that.
Not to this level. I
Yeah,
mean,
the
what is-
first one we did was 2008.
Yes. But even 2008,
It wasn't
that much.
Nanado had mentioned the lady. That's what brought the conversation
No,
about
people
running mate.
put the lady's name out. Nanado, when we went to National Council, just mentioned Dr. Bawumia.
Oh, the lady's name came before National Council, and then there was protest.
No,
To Darocha's office.
No. The lady's name came during consultations.
Okay.
So that the meeting that we had at National Council, I think, and I was present in that meeting. It was only Dr. Bawumia's name that was mentioned by the candidate Nana Akufo-Addo. So I think it's important that I know the media has made a lot of mileage out of our presidential primaries, and
We want to continue
we want to
milking
continue
it.
milking,
Yeah, we
milking
have to
it. So
milk. We
now-
are milking NDC too. They said the Nana may be changed. Today's headline said that the Jomama may change. You know, we are going on and on and on.
Well, that is for him.
Let me ask you another strategic question because you are also a communication space. At which point should a running mate be selected? Early in the election year or later in the election year? What's your advice?
So these are all things that we should leave the presidential candidate to decide. I think that we should allow him the space to take that decision, and that will help society at large. You know,
So, you know, before now, we were voting for the presidential candidate, at least in one party, and in one election in 79, the PNP voted for De Graaf Johnson.
it's a different party, it's a different tradition.
Do we do that again?
I don't think so. I think what we have now has worked with us, but I think we should allow the candidate the room to decide what he's comfortable with, without, you know, throwing names about, headlines and that kind
Some
of
people
stuff.
say, they send me text, that Kwabena Japan is talking nicely like that because he didn't get 37%. Somebody gets 37%, he's entitled to either be running mate or be a big part of the campaign. Another person writes to me and said, during the history of the MPP, when you finish the Congress, you didn't win, even if you got 90% and you didn't win, it's all about the presidential candidate. Let's rally behind him. Well, what's the history? What's the true history?
Paul, I mean, look, an election is a process to select a winner. Once there's a winner, the focus has to be on the winner.
The one who nearly won. What happens?
It's never the case. It's never the case that we focus on number 2 or number 3. We don't do that. You know, this is not the first time we are organizing this. So we've had a contest through 2 rounds, and the contest has thrown up Dr. Bawumia as the leader of the party, as the presidential candidate. And he's going to be the face of our campaign. And I think it's incumbent on all of us, patriots of this political tradition, to back him with all the energies that we can muster, and so that we can get along. You know, that process is over. We are now looking to win in the election in 2024. And I think all of us have a stake in the party, including The one, Kennedy Japan, who had 37%, that was a very good performance he put out. I think he should be proud of what he was able to achieve, you know. But it is now time for all hands to be on deck, all shoulders to be to the wheel, to push in one direction. And I think when we have a very cohesive party, especially at the base, it's important that we send these messages, because different people have different thresholds of handling defeat in elections. And after an election like this, it can be bruising and egos can be bruised. It's important that we have a word, a soothing word for everyone, you know, that we rally ourselves together and put this behind us and work towards winning the victory in 2024. So I think that we should not get into what has happened in an election. The election is past and gone. We have a result. And as a political party, let's work together to push for victory in 2024. That's what I am for, and that's what I would advise all patriots of our party, and especially those who supported different candidates. You recognize.
Okay.
Once the
text is
majority
coming in from one of the key MPP people. I don't think he wants me to mention his name on this text. It says, correction, please. In 2008, several options emerged. Haja Alima was indeed in the reckoning. There was Boniface Abubakar Siddiq, Professor Jan Bafo, Professor Isuman, whom I don't know. Do you know Professor
Atu Isuman?
Yeah. And then Alhaji MND Jawula, whom I was supporting, I have to say. It was within this framework that Anado asked us to find someone totally outside the circle. The rest, as they say, is history. Who's Atu Isuman, by the way?
Oh, Professor Isuman, you don't know him? No. He used to be chief director. His son is the legal counsel to the president.
Oh, he's a Central Region man.
Yes, he used to be a member of Council of State.
Yes. A Kosuman's father.
Yes.
Ah, I see. Okay. Is that correct information, though?
I don't think so. I mean, I had a chat with the presidential candidate at the time. And he asked my view. And I said, if I was in his shoes, I would give it to Jawula. Because Jawula had such a wide reach, you know, civil servant, GFA chairman, born in Kaolin, Ghana, Gonja. So that was my personal view. But it wasn't canvassed around that much.
Not much.
No, not much. So,
you know Maxwell in the UK?
No.
He says, I just love Kwabena Agyapong. He's an exceptional person. He has a lot to offer Ghana. Kudos to him. Baumia should make him campaign manager. So you have two jobs already, running mate and campaign manager.
Oh,
let's see what else.
What is important is I am a true patriot of a party. I'm a servant of the party. And it's President Kufuor who advised it's better to be even a messenger when you are in power than to be a general secretary.
Balfour from the United States, he is in Colorado, says on the running mate issue in 1996 and 2008, there was no social media either.
That's true.
Other than that, it would have been the same way. Social media is very powerful, he says.
I think that is true. That is true. Because of social media, everybody has access to...
somebody has sent me photograph. I mean, my viewers are great. Okay, I'm going to send this photograph to my producer to put. This is Roland Isi for Alhassan's picture. It's from Master Planner Junior in Kentampo. Master Planner, look, you are great. Thank you very much. You have it? He sent it to you? Okay, please project Alhassan for Kwabena Agyapong to confirm whether it's him.
Yeah, it is him.
Thank you very much, Master Planner. That's him. Is it him?
Uncle Roland.
On the TV near you.
Yes, I know him very well.
So you call him Uncle?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm sure he's passed.
Oh, a long time ago. His son is a very close friend of mine.
I see. Till now, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. But people like the running mate story, so I have to stay on it. You know, media, we are sensational.
No, I think you are making too much of a meal of that and trying to create a circus. And I think it doesn't help the party. You know, we need cohesion now.
We shouldn't put pressure on the presidential candidate.
I think it's unnecessary. It's something that is his sole prerogative. You do some consultations and then inform the National Council. And then
this is a very important question. And social media, please note it down because I want to put it up. I'm going to ask Kwabena Agyapong a very important question. I know he will dodge it, but should a running mate be married?
That's a difficult and interesting one. I mean, why are you saying that?
I'm asking you, should he be single? Should he be married? You were an apostle of Victor Owusu. When we heard back in the day that Owusu's marital status was a problem for those of you who were rallying around him in Kumasi and other places.
Come on, Paul.
Should a running mate be married?
I think these are very personal issues. You know, these are very personal.
Yeah, but the people,
I don't want to pass the judgment.
But is it true Victor Owusu had problems with his single status?
It's still something. Well, he's a public figure, so I can't say that is private. But
But they said Owusu wasn't married, and that cost us the election. Those of us who are PFP. I was PFP. I was only 3 or 4 years. I was PFP.
You know, you see, when you are married, you are thought to be more responsible. You have a woman in your life, and it's stabilizing and all that. But I think that I don't want to get there. You know,
okay,
it's too much.
We'll be now talking for 30 minutes. Viewers, you can send your text messages on this marriage issue because it's also making the rounds. Okay. Another one comes from a fancy abroad, Ghanaian in London. He said, Kwabena is a refined politician who knows how to craft his message to sit down well with all sides of the political divide. Paul, if he is considered as VIP, breaking the age by the MPP will be highly possible. Okay, another vote for VIP again. All right, are you getting text messages? Yeah, please get them ready, and I'll be coming to Kwabena Japan on that as well. Okay, but let's talk about you yourself, Kwabena. So you have been fully restored in the party. All of those issues are over. You attend National Council.
I was restored a long time ago.
A long time ago.
A long time ago. I think 2021. 2021, yes. And I've been attending national. When you are General Secretary, you are a member of National Executive and the National Council. So I've been attending all those meetings. And I'm more inclined to work for the harmony of this political party. And what I'm worried about, or I feel a bit apprehensive about, is the mindset of the younger generation. I don't want them to get into that narrative that politics is all about
money. Make money quick.
Monetizing the whole process. And I want to encourage young people, whether it's TESCON or TAIN, that you develop yourself. I was a civil engineering consultant. And when the time came for me to serve President Kufuor,
politics, are you going?
I did so.
So do something first.
Build something, because when you fall on hard times, like I did fall on hard times, then you can go.
So do you still do engineering?
A little bit of it. Until recently,
but you were the president of the Institution of Engineers.
The executive director.
Executive director. Yes.
The Ghana Institution of Engineers and the West African Federation of Engineering Organizations, and I enjoyed my time there.
So do you still draw routes? Structures?
Well, I have moved more into environmental issues.
Oh, yes, I know that.
So I'm a member of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations.
So water and things like that?
Water and environmental sanitation and other things like that.
And
climate change.
I'm digressing, but I really struggle to see how civil engineering has to do with water. Can you help us?
Civil engineering?
And water.
Of course.
Hydraulic the plumbing thing, how the water comes. So is that civil engineering? Is mechanical?
That is civil engineering.
It's not mechanical?
No. Oh, because of the pumps, there's a cross between.
Okay.
But water supply is civil engineering. So it's water distribution, water treatment. So water.
People don't also know that you have raised a son who's also a civil engineer. What does he do these days with the civil engineering, your son?
He works at MPA. So
National Petroleum Authority.
Yes, I've had
what's his name? The Japan?
Kofi Eje-Ejapong.
Kofi Eje-Ejapong.
I don't know whether I have his permission to mention his name, but he also went to Infant Supreme. So we have 3 generations. My father insisted. My father was at Infant Supreme.
Your father was Infant Supreme. Okay.
I went to Infant Supreme. He went to Infant Supreme. I've instructed him, if you will listen to me,
that his son should go to Infant Supreme
School.
I see. You must be a proud father. See yourself. But this is still personal, not political. Your father is a lawyer, and I remember in the Joy newsroom when I used to work, I had to consistently correct them that you are not a lawyer. And they always introduced you as a lawyer. When you were spokesperson for President Kufuor,
I think so.
They always say that lawyer Kwabena Japan. That he said civil engineer is not a lawyer. How have you been able to create this image? Maybe you didn't create it. That is this image that you are a lawyer.
Because I became a public figure very early. I was the youngest host of Sports Highlights in 1987. I was 25 years.
I don't remember that. I remember Sports Highlights when I was in Presec.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had been doing it then.
I did it for a long while. So I was very young, and at that time there was only GTV in Ghana. I mean, Ghana Broadcasting.
So why did they think you were a lawyer?
I think
but you hang around lawyers a lot. Ajete, Odoi Sykes.
No, a lot of my friends.
And the Matters Day events, you were big in it.
And people thought that I should be a lawyer. I never thought about it, so it never crossed my mind.
I see. But did you see your father at his work as a lawyer?
I used to
in his chambers.
I used to sit in his court to
listen to his judgment.
Ghana Law School, where the Makola.
Yeah,
that was his
court,
high court. Yeah, for some time. So I used to sit in and listen to the court
when he's giving his judgment, or when he's conducting the case.
When he's conducting the case,
and he will see that you are there.
Yeah, I go to work with him every day, so that at 12 o'clock I can go to The cinema at...
Oh, the afternoon cinema.
Yes.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
How did you start liking football? I mean, I'll never forget this. And if my friend Xerox is listening, he remembers. We were watching World Cup 1990.
That's right.
I've told you this before. Holland was playing.
Yes, right.
And at halftime, in doing the analysis, you said there's a guy on the bench called Kieft.
Vin Kieft.
And that if he came in, he will score.
Oh, and he did.
And he did. And he scored. And we were celebrating him. He said, hey, come here, Japan knows football.
No,
How did
my
you
father
get so
took
much
me to the
football?
stadium very early.
I
I
see.
think it was 1967. It must have been Kumasi Asante Kotoko and
you are 60 now.
BA United. I don't want you to mention my age.
Oh, but you're over 60?
I'm 61.
Oh, 67 is when you... So you saw Baba Yara?
No, not Baba Yara, but I was a kid, so I can't remember the players. But I
Okay.
remember the jerseys.
At the stadium?
At the stadium.
The same Kumasi stadium we have
Kumasi
now?
Sports Stadium. So I got addicted to football, and fortunately my primary school used to share a wall with the stadium.
In Asokwa?
In Asokwa. And that's where Oliver Aqua used to stay.
Oh, I see.
Yes. You
I
know,
see.
so I got connected with
So you saw the glory days of Asante Kotoko?
Salisu, the great days of
the winger, Ose Kofi.
Osmano, Orlando, Malik.
You saw Malik play?
Of course.
Razak?
Razak is very...
Razak, I even saw Razak.
Much later.
Yeah,
much
I saw
later.
Razak.
I'm
Did I
talking
see
about
Razak? No, I didn't.
Clifford
I just
Odame,
heard.
Ohene Brenya. That was Asante Kotoko squad that won the Africa Cup in 1971.
Oh, you saw them?
Oh,
But Baba Yara was in. Baba Yara was
no,
there.
he was injured.
Oh, Baba Yara was not in the 71 winning squad?
No, he was not there. He was injured much earlier.
I see.
He was injured much earlier.
So by the time you were doing sports highlights in 87, you had all that information about football?
Yes. And then also I used to travel to the UK to go and work during the summer holidays. And then I would delay and watch the Premier League. At that time it was, it was the first division.
Starting by the time you should be back. End of August.
Yeah,
I
would delay a bit. So I'll come
So the
back
first week you can see it?
Oh, more than the first week.
I see.
Yeah, so...
Which games did you watch? Which teams did you watch?
Liverpool would travel to Anfield.
Anfield?
I went to West Ham. They used to have a different...
Yes. I know. I've been there. I've been to
Upton
that stadium.
Park.
Upton Park.
It used
Yes,
to be
yes.
Upton Park.
East London.
East London.
Yes.
Upton, I watched Everton.
I've watched the game there before.
Yeah.
Manchester United and West Ham. Yeah,
That's
so
right. So
then
I used
Baba
to-
was playing
and
for
of
West Ham.
course, my mom used to work part-time at White Hart Lane.
Oh, your mother?
Yes, my biological mother.
She used to work at White Hart Lane?
Yes.
Tottenham Stadium?
Yes, so in those days, she was in the pay office. So you see Osei dealers, they would come for a brown envelope. They were being paid every 2 weeks.
I see.
There was a Nigerian player, Tunji Banjo, John Chidozie. Those were the first two black players for Tottenham Hotspur. So my whole family in the UK, they are all Spurs. I'm the only Liverpool one because of Asante Kotoko.
Ah, I see. Let's get back to politics. So you finished school and worked at Highways.
That's right. I was a
Then
civil
you
engineer at Ghana
got
Highway
into
Authority.
GBC.
That was part-time. It
Yeah,
was
I
just a
know.
passion, yes.
So you were going to GBC only on Mondays, Sundays and Mondays?
Sundays and Mondays. It became tough, especially when I was doing some work in Obuasi, because you have to come back, host the program, drive back. But I enjoyed hosting the
Or
program.
you come and do sports highlights and go to Obuasi in the
That's
night?
right, in the night.
Oh, I see.
I leave at around 11. When you are young, you can do things. You
were in the
driving
30s then?
Yes, 20s, late 20s and early 30s. I would
Where
drive
did you
at-
get those shirts from that you wore on sports highlights that we all wanted to wear?
I think you want to bring in that. That was the time that I started what I call was advertising on television. It was also something that I can claim with humility. And I remember Mr. Totulai, who was the commercial manager at
GBC, yes,
he
old
was
man.
always arguing with me. I said, look, you don't pay as well, so at least I can go to Adiva Shirts.
Oh, Joe Shum.
Joe Shum
Oh,
was
I
a
see.
friend. I said,
I see.
Adiva Shirts, you give me some shirts and ties and a jacket, and then we'll put your name as a scroller. And the commercial department were livid. But I was able to convince Tutu Robertson and the bosses at GTV that, look, we're going to have a major tournament, so all of us have to be properly suited. But of course, the jackets we had to send back, but not the shirts and the ties.
Oh, I see. So the jackets you wore with Edward Fachi and Kaltofo.
Sometimes Moses Fuamoni and
Yes,
then,
yes, yes,
and then
Moses.
Kwabena Eboa
Yes,
at
yes,
times, So, and that was the first time. And again, it helped us formulate this panel discussion.
Yes, that's what we have now. We didn't have it before.
Yeah,
1990 was the first.
It was the first time.
Yeah.
And then we had to fall on Jake Obechevilamte because of the politics. I had known him, but he was the managing director of the largest advertising firm, Lentas, it was at the time.
They're still called Lentas.
Lentas, yeah. So I went to him and said, Jake, you've got to be able to find some sponsors so that we can pay for the feed. And that's how come we're putting the sponsors. And he asked me, how are we going to give something back to the sponsors? I said, we'll do panel discussions. And having traveled to UK and I had all those tapes, of old World Cup matches. So when there's a match between country or the other, go back into the history of the World Cup and pick the matches. And we didn't have the copyright though.
Oh, I see. Those were very interesting days. How did you lose your job at Highways? Or did you walk out?
No, Highways I left. I didn't, after 92, and we lost. I mean, if you're a civil engineer working in a public organization under a head of state who was also running for elections, and then you come on national television and campaign against him, and say, vote for Professor Edouard, not the head of state. And
you're working at GTV.
At the same time, and then after we lost, that was the most painful defeat I've ever suffered.
Oh, but you should have known that you're going to lose that election. Oh, I read Uncle Joe's book, I get confused.
No,
Why did you think you were going to win?
We all thought we were going to win.
92.
Oh, our hands are tied behind us.
But you should have known that you cannot
I
win that
call
election.
that a non-election. And that's why we wrote the stolen verdict. And full credit to Professor Dubois. In spite of that, in 1996, a lot of people felt that we should take him as a default candidate because we never accepted the 92 result.
Yeah.
But you know, our party, we said, no, we have to go back and vote. And when he lost that vote to Kufuor, he was crestfallen. I don't think he ever recovered from it. And I used to...
He was disappointed.
Yeah, very
that the party had let him down.
That's right. So in politics, and he never left the party.
But why did Kufuor win? Yeah, Edouard never left the party. He didn't.
Yeah, he never left the party. It was a very painful loss, but he never left the party. And Mr. Kufuor is a grassroots operator. He can come and visit you in your farms. You know, so quietly he was winning over.
Did he not just benefit from Kwame Pienim's disqualification?
You would say to a certain extent, but not entirely so. Not entirely so. He had worked very hard.
So if Pienim had run, would Kufuor have won?
It's difficult for you, but if you look at the margin of victory that he got
over Edouard,
and the support base that he had, especially in those days, there were the three northern regions and Volta, you know, and with Tomia Metropole, who was like a stalwart in the Volta region, Alaji COP, Imoro Salifu, Alaji Shaku. These were Kufuor's stalwarts.
I remember the name COP. Who was he? Was he a commissioner of police?
That was a nickname. He was a contractor. You know, he was the original. I think his son is the regional organizer now.
Right now.
Rashid, yeah. COP, yeah.
I see. Imoro Salifu, I remember that name.
He was the Upper East Regional Chairman.
They used to be in Kufuor's house at the airport most of the time.
And he used to be a minister during Buzier's time, Imoro Salifu.
We're showing Peter Adjei addressing the 1996 Congress.
That's right.
And you had introduced J.H. Mensah at this Congress.
It's an interesting story.
Very, very. How did it happen? Remind us.
It's an interesting story.
Yeah.
And it hurts me that, you know, things have happened the way they have happened. We of the Young Executive Forum.
Alan Chemartin's Young Executive Forum.
Yes. We all that time from 92 had been supporting Kwame Safodu.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, most of us.
Dr. Safodu,
most
the
of
medical
us.
professor.
And then Dubois won. Safodu introduced us to Dubois, so we supported him. And then come 96, JH had come back to the country. And you know, JH is very intelligent, very sharp. And some of us just loved him. You know, so, but it wasn't part of the plan.
What wasn't part of the plan?
To go and introduce him.
Your introduction at Legon that day wasn't part of the plan?
It wasn't part of the plan.
So what happened?
It was just in the spur of the moment.
But what were you doing there as a party member?
Yes,
or were you in anybody's camp?
No, we were there. We were there, and then we realized that nobody was going to nominate JH.
Everyone had somebody nominated?
You had somebody nominate and somebody who speak and introduce you. And apparently the person who had offered to do that disappeared. It happened on a few occasions, even to President Kufuor. The one who was supposed to nominate him in 92 also disappeared.
I see.
At the last minute.
Who is this? Who is this on the screen? Oh, please, can you, if you can rewind quickly.
This is
no, not this one. This is Electoral Commission.
Electoral Commission, yeah.
But I was looking for, they may be able to rewind it just a little bit. I think it's Johnny Selby.
Yeah, Dr. Selby.
Have they rewinded it? It will come very soon. Are we going to have that photograph? If it's difficult, tell me, then we can start again. This is March. Oh, is this March 1998 Congress?
96.
No, the caption is wrong. Edubwanhi versus Kufuor was not 98. 98
no,
was
the caption said 96.
Oh, it says 96. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
96.
They'll bring it back, and I'll point it out to you.
Yes, I think I saw Dr. Safodu. I saw.
There's a guy seated with brown glasses. That looks like it will come back.
Yeah.
Please play the video again, and then I want us to get the history right.
You know,
so, how did you then introduce J.H. Mensah?
Alan Chemating said to me, "Come down. You've got to go and do this. Otherwise, it will be embarrassing."
Oh, are you serious?
I'm telling you.
Alan Chemating?
Yeah.
Were you sitting with him?
I was always with him.
Oh, this Young Executive Forum. Okay.
So then I had to go and do it in the spur of the moment. But I had read a lot about JH. I had known him, you know, so it was easy for me to put together something.
But then JH did very well.
Yeah.
He just showed up and got 100 and something.
Something, yeah, he did. I think he was third or
by just the speech.
Yeah, I mean that's when he shouted, "We want power, we want power," you know. And of course,
I see.
JH had a lot of run-ins with the Nobisto affair. Have you heard of it?
This one.
This is Selby.
This is Danny Selby.
This is Dr. Selby. Yeah.
Okay, he was part of 96.
Yes.
And 92
as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 92 he did. I think he was.
So he was a fancy man who lived in Kumasi.
Yes, Dr. Selby had a big clinic.
Okay.
Yes.
Selby Hospital or something like that.
Bimpe Hale Clinic.
I see.
So he's lived most of his life in Kumasi.
He was very decent, handsome.
Very
man.
nice man.
Yeah, he spoke
nice
very well,
yeah.
decently.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Very nice.
Okay, you can keep the video rolling and then.
So I mean,
so Alan asked you to introduce JH. So how did JH himself take it when you showed up that you're going to introduce him? Did he know you?
Of course, he knew me, but he was expecting the one who was supposed to introduce him. So it was a bit uncomfortable. So I just went and said, "Uncle, I'll do it." So we became very close. That's why I became very close to JH.
Oh, until he died, I remember that.
Yeah, very close. And anytime he was minority leader at the time, even during the 96.
In fact, just before he died, you showed me his house. I don't know whether you remember. I was going there
yes.
with my PA and I called you and you showed me the house.
Yeah, he stays very close to
And when I finished my visit, I came to see you.
That's right.
I told you Jay says his wife has died and we were laughing about it.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks later, he was dead. And you know the conversation he had with me, I came to tell you.
Yes.
That he said that how can MPP keep their hands on the levers of power for 50 years? I was amazed.
He always used that. His brain was always.
Keep our hands on it for 50 years. I was not talking about break the A too. He said, how does MPP stay in power for 50 years?
He was always sharp.
2 weeks later, he was dead.
Sharp brain.
J.H. Mensah was an amazing
Yeah,
human
he would walk and come and wake me early, and then we'll go for a walk.
Oh, are these Legon?
Yes, yeah.
I see. But this must be 2 months before he died.
Yeah, I mean, he was. I was always going to visit him.
Yeah.
But you know, we were not expecting. He was sick, but he was recovering.
Oh, but he was old.
Yeah,
he was nearly 90.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a great history of the party. Now let me ask you the questions that people are sending before I go to the break. What do you make of Alan Chemating's exit?
I think it is. I was hurt because I think that something that you helped build, you should never leave it. Even if there are issues, you stay in and rebuild it. And so I was very hurt. Very hurt.
Have you spoken to him since?
Yes, once. We are friends.
He was at the funeral, you saw him?
Yes. I didn't see him at the funeral, but I think I've missed one call of his. He's missed one call of mine. He's still a friend of mine. We grew up together. He was like a big brother to me. But I totally disagree with the decision to leave the party. Because I think this political party, when I look at the likes of Ajeni Mboateng, people who suffered and virtually got nothing, Coleman Petu, you know, you can mention the name Jamfi Bikai,
the 79 people.
You know, even let's talk about 1992. These are regulars at the party headquarters, regulars at meetings, and never live to see even our victory in 2000.
Oh, wow.
You know, so these are the kinds of things that I expect us as patrons of our party. And that's why, despite all the troubles I've been in, I believe that this party is supreme, and I love the party intensely. And we've got to protect it and build it for future generations. If we have fallen short, and it is true, maybe some principles we've fallen short, it is our collective responsibility to restore those cherished values. When I talk about my triple S of service, sacrifice, and selflessness, you know. So I was worried and disappointed that, because at least, I mean, with him, the party has also done significantly well for him.
This is Alan Kyerematen?
Yes.
What has the party done for him? Making him trade minister? Is that what the party has done for him?
Provided an opportunity for him to serve the country, which I think was wonderful.
But his agent was beaten up in the Superdelegates Congress in the northern region, he said.
That was an unfortunate situation, and that needs condemnation. You know, so there's no condemning of violence.
But now,
I think it's important.
Now Hinito, I mean, somebody that I can consider a mentor, also left the party. He's been asked to leave the party.
I think the media has reported it wrong. I had the opportunity to call the editor of Daily Guide. I asked him, I said, you said we have dismissed. The party hasn't dismissed anybody. The party has rules and regulations. That all of them, including especially Ohinto, who was General Secretary and therefore custodian of the rules and regulations, you know that when you back an independent candidate, you forfeit your membership. So by their own conduct, they put themselves in a position where they forfeited their membership. Let's not create the impression that the MPP is driving our people. We haven't. We want to win more souls. That is the duty of the political party. So the reportage in the mainstream media sought to create the impression that we are some hostile party that are driving people out because we don't share similar views. I think that is wrong. This is a party that believes in free choice, freedom of association, and that there are rules and regulations governing every party. And so if you put yourself in a situation where you forfeit your membership, the burden should be on those who did that, not the party. The impression should not be created that the party has fired people. The party, the General Secretary did the right thing. He was communicating with the world, with the country, especially you, the media, who continue to refer to people as leading members of the MPP and that kind of thing. Just to let you know that from now on, by their own conduct, you cannot refer to them as members of the MPP.
So you can't call
that is not
Adoye a leading member of the MPP anymore.
Because he has forfeited his membership by his own actions. It is not the party driving him out.
Does Alan have a way back to the MPP at all?
Everybody has a way back. I mean, you can always reapply for membership. Apply. Yes, you can just write a letter that you want to be back to the party. You know, so there's always a way back for everyone. And I would say, I mean, I've been a close friend of Alan for many years, from our growing in Kumasi and all that. He's seen as a big brother. And so I'm really hurt that he took that decision.
Let's go to social media and see what our viewers are saying. Let me start with you, Michael. Before you do that, please read the LPM and then let's get it on from there. Okay, Michael is on now, please.
Right. Yeah, our first sponsor we hear from is Black Star Press Limited, and they say that inside Black Star Press Limited, we grow businesses inside the inventive minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. Witness the beauty, diversity, and the natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies, call us now on 0200 88 0000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited have a worldwide reputation for quality printing. Let's hear from the ladies.
Okay, let me start with the message. It's from Carlos von Brazzi, so I read this so we get out of it. It says, Kwabena Japan has just mentioned the gods, small g-o-d-s in quotes, of the MPP. Of course, there are other unforgettable ones. I refer to Stephen Kriku, you know him?
Yes, Stephen Kriku, yes.
BK Adams.
BK Adama.
Adama.
Kabo. Mumuni Dumbi.
No, you mentioned one name. There's a name you keep mentioning and I've forgotten. BK Adama. Jato Kaleo.
Jato Kaleo, yes.
Yeah, and then he has the Araram Ponsa.
Of course.
He says, these are the real deal. I could never forget their sacrifices. What did BK Adama do?
BK Adama?
Was he the Buzia time? Was he Vitosu time? Was he a Dubois time?
BK Adama was the Minister of Interior during Buzia's time.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. And he's one of the elders of our party.
Stephen Kreku?
Kreku, it was his house that was the formation of the NPP really started.
Oh, I see.
Yes, yes. And he is from Western region, but I mean, he was really a stalwart. He's an engineer and a consultant, quantity surveyor, and he provided a lot of support.
For the party?
For the party. And not to forget Sana Lodge. Nana Ewuku, he passed away.
I know the name, Sana Lodge. Something in Achimota?
Tesano? G.B. Ewuku, yes, Sana Lodge in
Tesano.
Tesano. He used to be the treasurer of the Popular Front Party.
Oh, I see.
Yes, he used to be the treasurer of the Popular Front Party. But, you know...
So these are all people who have sacrificed for the party.
I can't... J. Addison and the rest. I can't mention...
J. Addison, I remember. Takrady J. Addison.
Takrady J. Addison.
Yeah.
And of course, if you go to the Volta region, there are quite a number of people who... A.K. Deku, who was the commissioner of police, you know, he was part of the coup of
the Nkrumah people, Nkrumah coup, Deku.
That's right.
The member of the tradition?
Of course, he was at the beginning of the party.
I see.
We were having meetings in his house very close to Keta. We would drive all the way there.
So that coup had quite a few UP tradition people.
Of course, you know that.
Deku. Ankara wasn't, was he?
I'm not so sure.
So, okay.
Yeah, so sure. Yeah.
Let's see what people are saying. Who should I start with? Let me start with Fatih. What are people saying?
All right. So before I start with my messages, I have some questions for you.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I want to ask you what inspired you to enter into politics, and then my second question. All right. So my first question, I'm coming again, is I want to know what inspired you to enter into politics, and then my second question is, how do you envision the future of NPP in terms of the role they play in Ghanaian politics?
You'll take that after the text messages. What inspired him to enter politics and the future of NPP. Yeah. So read the text message. Let's go around with it and come. I'm sure Mikael has questions for him as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So coming from...
Maureen, if you have questions for Kwabena Agyapong, get ready, and then you have to come to the studio and ask it.
Okay, so coming from Elom Kwame, he says NPP is a political party built on principles, laws, and regulations. The conduct of those individuals fell short of the bylaws. It's that simple. Also coming from Citizen Francis, he says, my admiration for Kwabena Agyapong has soared. His conduct showcases political maturity. His conduct shows that after contesting against the vice president, Dr. Bawumia, in the presidential primaries and falling short of securing enough votes, he doesn't harbor bitterness. I commend his call for unity within the party. Kudos to Kwabena Agyapong. Coming from Lizabel, he says Dr. Bawumia should consider adding Kwabena Agyapong to his team because he has so much to offer. Coming from Safui from Bali, he says, good evening, Mr. Paul. General Kwabena Agyapong is a natural and patriotic politician. In fact, no matter the anathema one has against this man, his wisdom will make you change your mind involuntarily. Please greet him for me. And lastly, coming from Alex Dufour, he says, good evening, Kwabena Agyapong. It's always good to listen to your intelligent analysis all the time. You prove to Ghanaians, especially the NPP members, how you believe and understand democracy. Antoinette.
Okay, so Kwame Osei says he disagrees with Mr. Kwabena. He says, Paul, I disagree with Kwabena on the number of ministers. We can reduce the numbers, for example, joining information with communication. One oversees content and the other oversees technical. Transport takes over railways. Agric includes fisheries and aquaculture. Works and housing oversees water resources, and sanitation goes under local government. Chieftaincy, culture, tourism, and creative art. We compare ourselves to the US, Germany, and others, but we forget that each of the autonomous states have a whole structure of government similar to the federal government. That is his submission. Another submission from Samuel Ofosi-Ban. He says, listening attentively to the submissions of Honorable Kwabena Agyapong, yes, he depicts a disciplinarian's lifestyle, but one thing he needs to know is the amendment and restructuring of the 1992 Constitution. It's the operating system of the Constitution that has made these leaders live in this opulent lifestyle. Amendment of this Constitution will check the irresponsible spending of these leaders. Joseph Opon says, good evening, Paul. May God bless you. may God bless Mr. Ejapong for his unflinching support for his party. In fact, if someone has unreasonable grounds to turn his back on the NPP, he should be the first person and not people who have received so much from the party to reach the top, but unfortunately don't appreciate it. Kudos to Mr. Kwabena Ejapong. Citizen Francis says, my admiration for Kwabena Ejapong has soared. His conduct showcases political maturity. Even after contesting against Vice President in the presidential primaries and falling short of securing enough votes, he doesn't harbor bitterness. I commend his call for unity within the party. Kudos to Kwabena Ejapong. Lastly, from Derek Ofe, I think our friend Derek, he says, I've always expressed my disappointment against politics of incessant vilification. In my own view, they hold in them some form of danger that can be pretty insidious. I really appreciate Mr. Ejapong for adding his voice to this call for politics devoid of insult and wanton vituperations. We cannot build our country on such slippery grounds. Paul has ever championed this cause with his platform, and that clarion call is well received. We need well-meaning people to take up the mantle of leadership, and by their actions, we will know them. My regards to you, Mr. Paul, and the entire Good Evening Ghana team, as well as Honorable Ejapong. What do you have for us?
All right, so Wafayao says, Paul, I think Kwabena Ejapong can be a good running mate for Dr. Bawumia. So that's another vote in that regard. Samuel Ofosi says, one thing I see in Kwabena Ejapong is that he displays the idiosyncrasies of the philosophy of Akufo-Addo. Is it because Kwabena sees Nana Addo as his political mentor? Having strong faith in the tradition of the MPP, the party should reward him in the near future. Kwabena Ejapong never lost hope for your victory. Never lose hope, for your victory is high. All signs and expressions show that your expectations are due. God bless you. Efia Yebwa says, Kwabena, you are the man of the year. And I think we can all agree to that. This one is from Ibrahim. He says, I can listen to Kwabena Ejapong all day without getting tired. Honorable Ejapong is very intelligent and is a democratic politician. Nana Yao says, all politicians should learn from Kwabena Ejapong, the way he communicates and conducts himself, even if he disagrees with you. Lastly, from Master Planner, Honorable Kwabena Ejapong is very objective. I am really enjoying his education this evening. I am very happy that he has not quit from the party, neither has he joined any independent candidate. He should support Dr. Bawumia to break the 8. I also want to urge him to maintain his ambition to become the president. He should solidify his base, energize and empower a number of party grassroots and members. In the near future, his star will brighten up across the country. While I'm done with the messages, I'd also like to add a question that given the opportunity to be vice president, in case the opportunity comes about, what do you think would be your biggest bargaining chip to the ticket? What would be your biggest thing that you add to the ticket?
Okay, good question. So we have how he entered politics. Vice President, what will be his biggest bargaining chip? Mikhail, let's come to you. Do you have messages?
Yes, please.
Yes, please read them and let's see what they
Okay, so we have our friend Taufik saying, I doff my hat for Mr. Kwabena Ejapong this evening. I wish the rest of the aggrieved NPP members will learn from his political maturity. The NPP will need all hands on deck to break the 8. Maxwell Furieta says, this is the Kwabena Ejapong I know and love. This is the Kwabena Ejapong I knew in the 90s. Wow, a long time ago. When he was seen in the company of now President Akufo-Addo. Intelligent, articulate, eloquent, and brave. He was a bit too negative during the campaign, but this man is brilliant. I hope and pray he plays a major role in Dr. Bawumia's campaign. Over the years, I've learned so much from him and continue to. We must all learn from KAA, an epitome of loyalty to the party and its cause. This message says, this guy Kwabena Ejapong is a great Ghanaian. Methinks he will be a fantastic chief of staff. Okay. And Adam Kojo says, MPP should listen to the wisdom from the hills of Kwabotre. It's about time we cut down expenditure and transform the Ghanaian economy, regardless of our political colors or who can get the job done. Yes.
You have a question? Let me write it down.
Okay, so my question might be a bit complicated, but I'll try and then simplify it.
Questions are always complicated.
Right, so when you look at the American political landscape, there's a certain conservative political commentator by the name of Benjamin Shapiro. And his view is that if the presidential election becomes a referendum on, let me take it again. The candidate on whom the election is a referendum will lose. That's what he says. The candidate on whom the presidential election is a referendum will lose. So he's saying basically, if the election comes down to, do we like Donald Trump? Is he a good person or an evil person? The political commentator says he will lose. Do we like Joe Biden? So basically, if the Republicans can frame the conversation around whether or not Joe Biden is good, chances are they'll hijack the narrative and then make him lose. Similarly for the Democrats, if they can make the conversation about whether or not Trump is a good person, they'll hijack it and make Trump lose. Do you think that that can apply in Ghana? That if the NDC can frame the political conversation around whether or not Dr. Bawumia is a good person, they can hijack the narrative for 2024?
What is saying that NDC is going to do a campaign of NDC versus MPP. MPP is going to do a campaign of Dr. Bawumia versus John Mahama. We've already said that, but we'll come to that in a minute. Well, let me get I'll come to you 1 minute, some text messages. This is from Korle Klottey constituency. George, it says, Kwabena is solidly firm. Tell him I can listen to him all day. And this is one of my regular viewers, my mentor, PMC, says, I must say, she doesn't get impressed with people just like that, but he says, I must say, I'm impressed by your guest. Was a bit annoyed with him during the campaign. Okay, he seemed to be teetering on the edge of condemning his own, but now I'm very, very impressed with him and the way he speaks. Okay, so now we can come to the questions. Ask them from the back if they have any questions. But let's start with Michael's.
Michael's is a bit complicated.
He said that before.
What I can say is that this whole thing about political marketing has become a big industry. You know, and I think
all media are part of it.
The media, the academicians, and researchers,
civil society.
So it's now a big industry. And I believe in common sense approach to politics. And that's why I've never been a student of polls.
Of the polls?
Of polls, you know, pollsters and the things that they do. You know, if you have been around politics long enough, you can feel the pulse of the Ghanaian people and know the kinds of things that you have to do and say to win the hearts and souls of the Ghanaians. That's what we need. Otherwise, you let these academics who come and frame you and tell you, do it this way. It has never worked for me. It has never worked for me. Strangely, my wife is a lecturer in media and communication. So I have a lot of arguments with her.
Ninoy Norte is running for parliamentary candidate in Korle Klottey.
Yes.
He says, Mr. Kwabena's point is always on point. He's intelligent, firm, decisive, and calm. He's a mentor. Good evening to him. Good luck, Ninoy. Good luck. Good luck. Ninoy, I hope that you win, and I hope that you can also win the seat. Okay, so that's Michael's question answered. Now let's get to... Madam, tell us your name again. Ella. You are in level what, 200 now? Oh, you finished? Oh, we thank God. Okay. What did you study?
Psychology.
That's why you're asking psychological questions. You said
what was the question again? I was
the question again.
Trying to pick it up.
Is the mic working, please?
Hello.
Yes,
that should he be given the opportunity to run as vice president, what will be his biggest bargaining chip to the ticket?
No, but if he's given the opportunity already, then there's no bargaining chip.
Yes. What is his biggest
addition? Or what is he adding?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what she wants to say.
I get it. I'll come back to you, Patty, for your question.
I wished she didn't add the aspect of being given the position.
Yeah.
Because I think that we should talk about it much less. What is important, and my passion has been the transformation of this country.
The transformation of Ghana.
We have to change our mindset as a country. We, the politicians, the Ghanaians themselves, they need a social reconstruct.
And it has to come from leadership?
Leadership has to lead by example. Look,
we had 20 years of a revolution.
That did not work.
That's your firm conclusion. The revolution didn't work?
It didn't work. In this country.
The revolution Rawlings launched in 81?
It didn't work. It took us way back. I mean, I'm hearing about economy and all that. Our night economy was destroyed by 5 years of curfew.
Yes. The nightlife.
The nightlife.
All the musicians complain about
destroyed by 5 years of curfew, and we have not recovered till today. So
it's almost back.
When I hear the candidate from the successor party talking about that, maybe anyway. Yeah. But what is important that as a people we should be able to put our hand on our chest and be proud of our heritage as Ghanaians. And you, the younger ones, I want to spend the rest of my life advocating for this, if for nothing at all. The last ounce of my blood, to be able to inspire the youth to be Ghanaian, to believe in their Ghanaianness, and to be able to do things for our collective goodwill, not this spirit of individualism.
I'm getting for me and my family.
Stop that. It's unnecessary.
It didn't used to be like that.
It didn't used to be like that when we were kids. In fact, when we were kids in school, we were proud because my father was a lawyer, your father was a banker. You know. Now we've been taken over by people with money. And
but the lawyers have more money now.
We are worshipping money now.
The lawyers have
and
more money
sometimes
now.
people
Bankers have more money now.
Whose source of money we can't tell. You know, and it has affected all facets of life.
It's true.
I think we have to restore.
It's affected the clergy
everywhere.
The last place it shouldn't
affect.
It's affected the clergy.
You know, so I think if there's any advocacy I want to do, especially the younger people, to have belief in themselves and let them know that you can have a fulfilled life, have a spirit of contentment without being rich. I've never been rich.
They won't accept it.
They should accept it.
No, they won't.
I will tell them. Because
you have never been rich. That's not true, Kabna. When we were young, we used to come to your office at Asalam Down. You give us money.
Oh, but that is nothing. I'm a civil engineering consultant.
Yeah, but
I can make a little money.
Yeah, but we thought
that is not
4 or 5 boys you give us, we go to walk in and go and eat.
Paul, it was not.
That was great for us.
Any normal civil engineering consultant can do that.
Yes, but the young people want to be able to do that at least.
No, right now, you talk to the young people, they've just finished school. Look, I used to live in one room at Joel. When I was at Highways. And a lot of us, those of us, most of them have even retired now. You know, Joulu, that's where we were living. Kranchi was sleeping on this bed. I was here. He became chief executive of Ghana Highway Authority. He was my roommate. You know, and we were working. We'll take our trotro. Do you know Jatalans?
No.
You know that vehicle that has a face like that?
But you see, now they have to live in Kaswa. They don't live in Joulu anymore.
Again, that's why I talked about regeneration of the inner city. If you looked at my 6-point plan,
yes,
it is atrocious that we've not been able to sort out the physical environment and the planning of our built environment. That people have to come from Oyibi to the central business district when there are a lot of big spaces in Adabraka and Nima and many places that can be redeveloped. And that's what I'm passionate about, especially with my engineering background. We've got to re-engineer the built environment, especially in the urban areas, and go to the rural areas and redevelop them. The way we live as Ghanaians is terrible. Let's be honest. There are certain things, in fact.
So the youth want the leadership to do all that before they come and tell them, don't look for money.
No.
Build the Kaswa roads, build the Kaswa inner cities for them.
It's not just roads, even the way we live. We are comfortable with too much filth. We have to be neat. I mean,
the overcrowdedness of the areas.
I mean, look, there are things, simple, soft things that we can do as Ghanaians. I don't want to mention certain ministries I went to, but I looked at the surroundings and I said, wow, if I'm a minister here, I can't accept this. You can't. You know, you can't. I mean, there are certain things we should do as a people. Well, you travel to America. You go to a place like Maryland or Virginia, and when you are driving, it is so refreshing. The way the lawns are manicured, you won't see a speck of dust. You know,
we have those problems.
We do.
It doesn't need money to solve.
It doesn't need money. That's why I'm saying that
attitude.
It's an attitude thing. It is enforcing law and order, ensuring compliance of rules and regulations. If you're not supposed to extend it beyond your land parcel, you shouldn't do it. And you can't do it all in one day, but I think we can start a gradual process of talking to our people, getting the assemblies to work and work properly. Instead of conniving with people and collecting small monies from them and allowing them to mount temporary structures. The last housing survey, 21% of dwellings in this country
are illegal,
are rickety structures.
And people dwell in them.
Yes.
21%.
21%.
So if we have 121.
And if you go to the motorway, you see a township.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. On the left and right, yeah. It's growing.
And we are watching it. We've got to
We always watch these things.
We should stem that decline.
But if you do that, they won't vote for you.
What about voting? Why? If you are president,
that's what brought no problem with that.
If you are there in 4 years, you still be called president. And I think that if you take the difficult decisions, by the time
the party won't back you.
The people will back you. You see, it's how you explain it and how you are humane with it. Sometimes I look at the assemblies, they go one day and start crashing people's things. They don't even remove them, so they end up making even more debt and leaving the debris there. But you can do it and arrange it and do it better. So it is a reorientation of our mindset. It is critical for us as Ghanaians. It's very important. You saw the Japanese when they went to the World Cup. They were picking up from their stadium. It's a culture. So it is something that we can learn. You know, it doesn't happen in a day, but I think we've allowed things to slip a bit, especially with the built environment. And I feel more hurt because I'm a civil engineer, and I believe that the architects, the engineers, the planners, and the surveyors, we should put them to work. Put them to work and ask of them solutions to our problems. That's why we go into government, to solve problems, not to recite the problems to society.
To solve it?
Yeah, to solve
To say that I've done it?
Yes, to solve the problem.
Okay, we're wrapping up at
That
this
was an
stage.
interesting question,
Yes,
but
Fatih,
I'm
your
not sure.
question.
Fatih's question, I can really find an answer.
What's the question again?
It's about how I got into politics.
Politics, yes.
It's a very long story, you know. But suffice it to say that I'm very public spirited.
That always been?
Maybe because of my background, what I went through as a kid, losing my father very early, and I mean, in those days you don't know where you have your next meal, where you sleep, and
So where did you guys move to after you left Ridge when your father died?
Well, my mom, my father's, that's not my biological mom, but my mom, who were living away, she had to take the 4 kids because they were young and stay with a friend in Swan Lake. A friend from living on the Castle Road in the judge's bungalow
with a lot of compound,
being squeezed in 2 rooms in North Kaneshie at Swan Lake. I was 20 years, first year student, so I said I have to just hit the road and hustle. So
when you were on vacation, where do you stay?
I will tell you stories. That's why I've stayed in Esiako. I've stayed in Osim.
Osim in Eastern Region?
Yes, because that's my best friend's, hometown. So if I can't come to Accra, then we'll go and hide in Osim.
Wow.
So it's been tough.
Then school opens, you go back to school.
School.
Then you go to London.
I used to stay with a friend who ended up marrying my sister. He was my senior in Infancy in Kolebu. He was perching at a nurse's flat, very small, and at that time, Kolebu didn't have a lot of water. And early morning, I have to get up at 4 a.m. to go because I was shy, From that back, I don't want people to see me, so early morning I'll get up, go and fetch water so that we can use it. Then he would go to work in Tema. He used to work at Mobile. And then we'll just take some wheat in the morning. And you have to wait till 7 when he comes back. There was a base in Latibia Koshi. I've forgotten the name of that fufu joint.
They go and eat there?
They will
So
go
after
eat
university, what did you do?
After university, because I decided at that time that, look, it's tough here. So what I do is I borrow money, and then I travel to London, go and work, make some cash.
Your mother was there?
My mother was there. So you don't pay for accommodation and others. And that's how I got to, So I've worked in places. I mean, when I was press secretary to president, when we go to Hilton, I say, I've worked there before.
At the hotel?
At the kitchen.
At the kitchen?
Yeah.
The Hilton on Park Lane?
Hilton on Park Lane. I've worked at Hyde Park Hotel.
Oh, I see.
I've worked at Grodzinski Bakery. So when I hear George Michael's song, that famous song of 1984, what's the name? It was on top of the pops for about 18 weeks.
You talk about a song. Somebody has sent me a text, very controversial. I have to take it. Social media, please take notice of this.
Yeah.
It says that, Paul, I'm asking you to ask this because only you can ask this on your program. Ask Kwabena upon this. Please be bold. Ask him. Bellamundi has published something this morning. She says that it is unfair for 60-year-old sugar daddies to compete with young men for their girlfriends. However, these girls are ambitious and they want iPhone 15. You can't blame them for it. So I don't know what question he wants me to ask. I said, ask Kwabena upon this. What should I ask? I've seen Bellamundi's post. Bellamundi's.
What does that got to do with
that's
me?
why I should ask you. You are building society. You are talking about attitudes. It says, well, ask him that Bellamundi says it is unfair for 60-year-olds to compete with young boys.
Let me tell you something.
For their girlfriend.
However, when the young boys don't know that they will also grow. I remember
the young boys don't know they will grow.
They will grow. When we were in tech, I won't mention the names of those big guys.
You get angry when they are coming.
When they come, sometimes we go and even
do the tie.
The tie.
Yeah, we did that in Commonwealth.
He also did that. and then
you grow up.
Then when you grow up, and then I was doing the work in Obuasi. I was still in my early 30s, and then you go to tech. You know, say, so this is what they were doing.
So you are wondering whether they are coming for your tie.
That's right. so those are things you look at. But again, I mean, if you are past 60, you should assess yourself whether you have the strength to do these.
Or maybe some of them have the strength.
Do they?
Maybe.
Do they?
Some.
Anyway. But you know, but at the end of the day, I think it's all about materialism.
Yes.
You know, I don't see why you should want very expensive. The last time the phone I like is what you're using, but I couldn't buy it. It was around 16,000.
Yes, the Samsung.
The Samsung. I looked at that and said, no, I won't spend 16,000. I'll use my S7, old S7. That's what I still use.
But the investigator, she's just finished final. Please, you just finished final year. Do you want this phone?
It's very nice.
You don't want this one. Do you want iPhone 15? You don't. You want iPhone 10? 10 is okay. iPhone X. That's fine. iPhone 12? That's fine. That's okay, but not this one. So if I give you this one, you don't want?
No, if you give it to her, why shouldn't you know?
But if I'm giving it to you in exchange for something,
no,
if there's exchange, you don't
Paul,
want. Okay.
Paul, you shouldn't do that.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking so we can put it in perspective. But when I was in university, people didn't have mobile phones, so I think it was better. I mean, you can keep your girlfriend in Volta Hall
at that time
because she didn't need a mobile phone, and she didn't want it.
Life was different, and I think our generation are the luckiest. We are the ones who saw the black and white.
I saw a little bit of black and white.
Black and white television. We are the ones who used to go to Circle to go and make calls outside, and they will give you 2 days to come back.
No, I didn't do that. I went to Circle to make a call, but it was the Ghana Telecom.
No, that was much later.
Yeah, that's much later.
That's much later. That's why you have this.
Well, Circle, you go and they say come in 2 days to speak to your mom.
That's right.
Okay.
And then they'll say, cubicle 4. Then you run. And now today you can take
just
a
call
phone
London from your home,
and then you can see your kid live, video call, and all that. The transformation of the last 20 years. Because I quite remember, even when I was working as in London those days, I still have my checkbook from Halifax Building Society.
Oh, Halifax
Building Society, and they used to use a dot matrix. You go to the bank, you put it in, you hear before they print it out. There was no ATM, even as late as 1987, 88 in London. So things have changed dramatically around the world.
So there's more pressure on the
youth. There's more pressure on the youth.
Yes, because
they see everything now with this Instagram and
there's computers.
And now what
so
worries
how are the young men going to keep their
girlfriends? Worries me is the peer pressure.
It's a lot,
and it's something that we should try and educate.
Oh, we can't do anything about it. Peer pressure, you can't do anything.
Because I see some of these people, they are living. And then they put on something. I have a car, and this one wants to have the same car.
They have a Range Rover.
It's all vanity. That's what I call it.
I agree with you.
It's complete vanity. They should pray divine spirit of contentment, which I thank God.
So what should we
God
do
has blessed me with that.
Belamundi says it's unfair, but she can't help it because the young women
she can't help it. That what?
She said the young women are ambitious, and it's correct for them to be ambitious. And
so
they want
it means that it's a
15.
transactional relationship.
Well, the one with the old man is transactional. The one with the young man, he will marry him.
Why?
Oh, he's just bringing iPhone 15.
So it's transactional.
Yeah, transactional.
So
but she wants the iPhone 15, you see. So she's getting iPhone 15 for him. That's it. It's fine. It's gone.
Who is the Bella? I think I've
Bella is a lady on TV3. She used to be on GH1. She was Miss Malaika third position. One of the brilliant young women.
Fela Nuna or something.
Fela
Nuni, or I don't know.
Do you know Fela Nuni? There's Fela Makafui on Joy. Is he on Joy? No, Fela Makafui is married. Fela Makafui is married to Medical.
Yes.
The rapper.
Yeah.
That's Fela Makafui. She used to do YOLO. Oh, it's a sitcom of
sorts. I saw her recently at Efia's lunch.
Who's Efia?
Oh, you don't know Efia?
You were at
Efia's lunch. I know.
No, I know. If I didn't think you would be at her lunch. Oh, you know Efia. That's nice.
I know.
She lives in your area.
Yeah, the mother is my very...
Oh, yes, Nana Ajua.
She used to come to me when I was press secretary. So I knew Efia from...
Oh, I see, I see.
So she invited me to a lunch.
Okay.
And I saw a number of those...
But do you still go to nightclub?
Once in a while.
Oh, once in a while?
No,
that's not bad.
I'm a night rider. So.
You still like Lumba music?
Great. I visit him once in a while too.
Oh, Lumba himself?
Yes, yes.
I see. Okay, I'll leave it here. Any questions? We are closing the show. You want to learn something? Okay, when we close, then you can learn. All right. Thank you, Kwabena. Your last word.
Well, my last word is to Ghanaians. First and foremost, we have a beautiful country. You've gone around Africa, you've gone around the world. We have a lovely country. And we can make it even better for ourselves when we conduct ourselves well. Character matters, values matter. And so, therefore, we should not, on the altar of political expediency, denigrate ourselves. It's unnecessary. Politics, in my view, is a competition of ideas. And we can even bring everybody on board. We should not sideline the brains of our country. It was Lee Kuan Yew who said that we should try and get our best material into political activity.
Yes, very important.
Very important. And the way, the heat and the temperature that we see in politics sometimes drives away people who can do it. So that's what I want to say to Ghanaians. Love our country, put our hand on our chest, and then recite our national anthem. And may our God make this country great again.
Thank you, Kwabena. Azobi, thank you for watching. Kofi Bame is watching from East Legon, and he says today's show is very interesting. Azobi, I owe you a visit. I'll be coming. Azobi, a friend of mine who is watching the show. Okay. Somebody says you meant Bellamundi. No, I'm talking. Yes, I meant Bellamundi. Do you know Bellamundi? No, she's the one who made the post. So somebody just corrected. Why are you giggling out there? I'm listening. I want to know.
Because he doesn't really know them.
He doesn't know them. Yeah, I know them. Okay, viewers, that's a great interview. We like it. Everybody likes it. Thank you very much. And thanks for watching. Good night.